Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Plastic Empire podcast. I'm Bill Singh.
I'm Pedro Rodriguez.
I'm Alan Kaplan.
So, an icon, a legend died. Uh, what was it? Yesterday.
Every day we seem to have one dying.
I know. China the
But
day before that, as a matter of fact.
you don't get an opportunity to mourn anybody
It's
because
crazy.
somebody new comes out. 2016 is brutal, brutal year.
For celebrities, yeah, yeah. But Prince, my first, believe it or not, and I know this is sound very embarrassing to say as somebody who did grow up in the '80s, and I don't know, Pedro, whether or not you match this or not, but for me, my first exposure to Prince was not Purple Rain. My first exposure to Prince was the '89 Batman soundtrack.
Well, I don't know what rock you were hidden under. I used to listen to
Being
pop.
honest.
All
Dude,
right,
we went to the listen. We went to the record store. You know what he asked the guy for? Barry
what?
fucking Manilow, dude.
Okay, that explains it.
And listen, this is a high end, like producing hip hop. It's a music producer's record shop where they have rare shit and they cater they cater to top end like guys that want to produce music
Yeah.
and that really collect high end stuff. And he asked for the dollar bin stuff.
Oh my
Hey,
God. Yeah, and
hey, Manilow is not dollar bin, all right?
Hey,
Manilow's at least five
there
yeah,
was
cents.
no Manilow in there. There was no
yeah,
dollar bins.
and I don't think they even sample Manilow. I don't think anybody's ever sampled him. Wow. No,
So
I mean I don't
I
know.
don't think I'd ever have
Look,
to break that one out on you.
I guess nobody on you were you. I guess Alan, you weren't around anybody that listened to any pop music, or pop radio. But he was big. He had that big disco s song in '79, '80. The first time he showed up American Bandstand, I don't remember the song, but all his big hits, I just remember. I mean, Purple Rain and Purple Rain was just a huge album, and in New York City, it played everywhere. You couldn't avoid it. I mean, we're talking about pizzerias, out of people's cars. Um, the movie was a huge, phenomenal success. I don't think it sold that well, but it was very popular. It was very popular in New York City.
Bitches for days.
Exactly, and the guy was an incredible musician. I didn't know about this performance. I just caught it recently at a previous Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. I don't know for whom. It might have been for George Harrison. It might have been the year that George Harrison died. There was a supergroup collaboration that did "While My Guitar Gently Weeps." Written and performed by George Harrison, but from the Beatles' White Album. Tom Petty, the lead singer and the main guy from ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, a few other cats I don't know, and Prince. Now it's a 6 minute song. The vocals by Tom Petty and the guy from ELO were incredible. All right, but there was some other guy doing the solos in the first half of the song. But the thing about the song and what's so awesome about it, the original song had the outro solo by Eric Clapton. Prince did the Eric Clapton solo, and I think he did it better. He did this thing live, and he is wailing on that guitar like it's nobody's business. The guy was just, and what was great about the guy, he did everything his way. He he played guitar he played guitar. He was a guitar virtuoso for what really was a an R&B performer.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean, a lot of the stuff was pop, but the guy wrote he wrote songs not just for himself, but for everybody that had a huge hit in the '80s, and all the way at the end with Sinead O'Connor, "Nothing Compares to
Yeah.
You," "Manic Monday" for the Bangles.
See, and that's the thing. I think I've been more exposed to what he wrote than what he actually sang.
You don't
Because
know
you're right, there's a lot of things he wrote that you necessarily know he wrote at the time, but that I listened to a lot more when I was a kid.
Sheena Easton was a backup singer and dancer for him, and then went on to have a few hits in the '80s. And I think probably at least with one of his songs. So the guy didn't. You know what? The guy put up he didn't like the record industry, so he got rid of his name and he was just a symbol. All right, the guy wasn't phony. He wasn't out for press. There's a great Howard Stern story. Howard Stern's a big Prince fan, and he went to this private Prince concert at a hotel room. All right, but what's great about it is that Howard Stern ends up leaving halfway because this guy's so full of himself. Prince did the show with the lights off.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want anybody seeing him doing it. And for Howard Stern, it's like, then what's the point of going? But it's just Prince did it his way. Prince hated the internet and hated social media even more. He opened up a Twitter account a few years ago, and he only had 2 tweets, and his second tweet was literally Prince's second tweet, and that was it. He shut off the. But the reason that I, like you said, at '89, I love what Prince did for the pop soundtrack for Batman the movie.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, Alan, and even you, Bill. I'm assuming you've seen the movie as well. I think everybody has. The music fit that Tim Burton universe.
It totally fit it.
All right. I forgot the name of the song, but the song that they play in that great scene where the Joker and his henchmen take over the museum, the Gotham Museum Park.
Yep.
I think I was about 12 at the time. 89, maybe 11. So I don't.
Yeah,
know.
maybe 11 because I was 12.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen the movie since.
Oh my God.
So and you guys are a couple years older than me, so I was all about with Def Leppard and NWA at the time.
Yeah, I wasn't really, it wasn't like I was really into this. I didn't buy the soundtrack, but it really fit well, and the videos were great, and so yeah, that's a legend that's passing on, and thank you for contributing to my life soundtrack, and for the '89 Batman movie.
And I know we weren't originally going to discuss this, but there was another death this week that happened the day before Prince. Obviously, not somebody who a lot of people maybe listening know who it is, but there was China, Joni Laurer. She was only 45.
Wow.
She had a shitty life after WWE.
Yeah. He was very big during that 98 through 2000-ish, 2001 maybe.
Yeah, that whole Attitude Era. She's the only woman who won the Intercontinental title. Apparently, they were going to put the world title on her. That was going to happen. That was in the works. They decided not to do it. They turned her into just a huge star, and she, unfortunately, she was kind of on the outs, with Triple H after Triple H got together with Stephanie. It was not a very good breakup. She really, really did not react well to leaving the company. She just had a sad life.
I have a question. Was she broken up because she was no longer in a relationship with him, or because she was her relationship with him was being written off, so she wasn't going to be premiered in WWE as much as she was? She was taking a back seat.
What happened really is that Triple H, basically, I feel like this is a soap opera now, Triple H just flat out, he and Stephanie fell in love with each other, and they built a relationship.
Is that a real, is that a real thing?
So here's the funny thing. The funny thing about it is this. Triple H had a storyline with Stephanie where he has her, knocked up on pills in the car, and he goes to this quick marriage place, and they get married in the car while she's knocked out. It was a storyline.
Can't do that today.
That storyline led to things blossoming between them for real. And it was something that Triple H and Stephanie, for that matter, kept hidden for a very, very long time for obvious reasons. They didn't want Vince to know about it. They didn't want the other wrestlers to know about it. China certainly didn't know about it. And when it became a real thing, when it did blossom into something real, basically, China was not shown the door right away because she was still involved with other storylines. She was involved, you may remember this, Bill, with Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, what was it? See, I'm not. I stopped watching wrestling in 2001, so once WCW went under. So I don't know how long she was there. If it was Eddie Guerrero, then she had to be there till 2004, 5.
Exactly.
6.
So that's the thing. Triple H, for the most part, kept the relationship with Stephanie very, very hush-hush through those early years, and Chyna was still a member of the roster. But once it became real, and Chyna was just on the out, and it just didn't work out between her and Triple H from a professional or personal standpoint, and she left, or she was shown the door. I don't know exactly what happened.
I would assume that I don't know. I would assume that she was probably shown the door.
But the sad thing is that she did not respond to it well. She did a lot of porn. She did a lot of drugs.
She did a lot. She did one, dude, maybe two. She didn't do a lot.
Well, I know her and Waltman had the one, and I don't know if what is it?
Yeah, it was not received very well. She got a lot. The real problem was that she was humiliated by it.
Yeah.
Because of her size. This I know from listening to gossip, to gossip stuff, celebrity gossip. She was humiliated. Everybody was laughing that she looks like a man, and because of the steroids and how that affected her anatomy and her back and everything, and that she was mannish and manly, and
that probably didn't help her out either with the and such. So. And I got to say my timeline's probably off because Eddie Guerrero would have been in WWF by 2001 with WCW folding. So
actually, you're right. Yes, because he died in 2004.
Right. Yeah. So
I believe or 2005.
So it was probably early 2000s because I know she was out of the spotlight not long after the whole DX and Attitude Era, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Wasn't she going out with X-Pac for a while?
Yeah, that actually is something else that really messed her up. Her relationship with Sean Waltman was a very, very abusive relationship on his side, apparently. Again, I'm not, that's not anything that's on public record.
But wait a minute. But the thing is that so these things are done as a storyline, but they really do it. They really have a relationship outside of the storyline?
No. So I should make that more clear. The abusive relationship between her and Sean Waltman was not a wrestling storyline. That was real life.
But I understand that. But why are they? But I don't.
Her and Triple H were an item, apparently.
Yeah, her and Triple H were an item for real.
Legitimately, not just for the storyline.
Correct. They were an item for real until he and Stephanie started things going on.
Is he still? Him and Stephanie still together?
Yeah, they have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! All right,
Dude,
all right.
He's going nowhere. He's gonna own that company.
Yeah, he's
nowhere.
That's another reason to get depressed. That was. I mean, I remember her back in 2000. I remember Stephanie back in 2000, 2001. I was going out with somebody that loved wrestling, so I saw all of the stuff in the background, and she was okay looking. As my next door neighbor, I would say she was good looking, but for that kind of world, I didn't think she was all that.
Stephanie?
Definitely an upgrade to Chyna, but Chyna had the whole steroids and.
Let's not talk ill of the dead.
You're right. It's sad. It's sad what happened.
And I wasn't a fan of hers, but I will not. I will not go in. And I wasn't a fan of hers. I wasn't a fan of the whole angles that they had. I'm just not a fan of the women in wrestling. So. I guess that did it, but as far as her, I would never wish that upon her or anyone.
No, it's horrible. She was depressed.
She did cut her way through that the annals of wrestling, and she does have a place there, and
totally.
I respect that.
She was.
I'm not a fan of the women wrestling and such, and.
Speaking, and I don't want to get too far off topic on this, and I know we have a lot to talk about, but there is one thing I do want to say. In regard to the Hall of Fame, obviously the Hall of Fame for WWE is a fictional thing, but it's still
please, because there's only one Hall of Fame. You got to mention which Hall of Fame you're talking about.
The Baseball Hall of Fame is the real Hall of Fame.
It's the only Hall of Fame, really. But
there is a WWE Hall of Fame, and the thing that I found really disturbing is that a couple of years ago, Triple H was on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, and Austin asked him flat out, "Do you think Chyna should be in the Hall of Fame?" And Triple H's response was, "Well, you know what? By her attributes and by her performance, absolutely. But the reason I couldn't ever see her going in there is that I don't want my daughter to be Googling her and then seeing that, she did porn."
Oh, that
And
is
the
so
reason,
lame.
you don't know why
Oh,
it's lame,
that's
though.
that is.
You don't understand exactly why it's lame. It's lame because they have somebody else in the Hall of Fame who has done porn, and that's Sonny.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that's insincere. That's an
It's just
insincere.
disrespectful. I mean, for someone you've had a relationship with and someone who was a big part of the
Yep.
your main coming out storyline at that. Because before DX, he was a chump, terrorizing
Oh, total
Hunter
chump.
Hearst Helmsley, and he's still a chump. I know, Jesse.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass. The game, my ass, man. He's garbage. And I'm
But
just
here's the thing. Here's the thing,
playing
though.
with Jesse, but he is garbage.
After China passed away, Triple H was asked the question again in an interview.
Yeah.
And he kind of did say, you know what, yeah, I could see her getting into the Hall of Fame, absolutely. And I think what it is this. The WWE would not want her on a microphone, on TV, in front of God knows how many people, and who knows what she's going to say.
Yeah, I think
They
that.
can induct her posthumously, which is
Yes.
creepy that that's what they have to do, but now they know.
What was she really gonna say? You're getting an honor like that. What are you? You're not gonna come out of your face, man. You know what I mean?
Bill, she's been unstable for years. She said a lot of bad things about WWE and Stephanie and who knows else.
She's had a lot of. She's had a lot of.
You don't know. You don't know. They didn't know what Ultimate Warrior was going to say. When Ultimate Warrior was inducted, they were nervous about that because they had a lot of meetings with him and Dana Warrior beforehand. But even to the hour of him going on, they were nervous that he was going to say something crazy.
Well, I'll say this.
Something crazy since 1984, man.
Well, yeah.
I will say this that China was a TMZ mess.
But
Yeah,
she
I
went.
didn't keep up. I got to be honest. I didn't keep up for a guy who's into wrestling like I am. I just don't give WWE product any shine myself.
But to your point, what you said is basically where it's at, though. She was a pioneer.
For sure.
There was nobody like her in that business. There will never be anybody like her again like that in the business, where you're thinking about putting the #1 championship on her waist, on a woman's waist, which is such a wonderful thing for the time.
You don't think that'll happen? You don't think at some point that'll happen?
Well, they have their own championship now. And thankfully, they're not divas anymore. They're actually women now. They're actually superstars now. So good for you, WWE, on that one.
Oh, that's
okay. So they basically Title IX the WWE.
Title IX.
Okay.
Title IX. Oh, dude, Title IX, man. It's what in the 70s created equality in men and women's sports and colleges. It was a big to do.
They kind of did because they basically.
I mean, what don't you know, Pedro?
Pedro's a walking encyclopedia.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm going. I'm leaving.
You guys never heard? You ever watch college basketball or college games or sports, and they talk about Title IX?
Not a college sports guy.
I'm not even college sports, but you never heard
How much dumber can I get on this podcast?
Dude, I already win dumb podcaster of the night already because I did not even hear Purple Rain. So there you go. I'm sorry.
I just didn't call it out, but if you sang Purple Rain, I might know what you're talking about.
Oh, I would know it if you're singing it. Yeah.
And yeah. I could not name a Prince song or sing one unless I heard it.
Yeah.
Purple Rain is one.
95.5 PLJ every day with my mom driving back. To my grandma.
Yes, that's what I grew up on. I wasn't C100. I was Jim Kerr in the Morning Crew.
I used to wake up to that shit with my mom's alarm clock blaring, and then driving to my grandmother's every weekend.
We built this city. That's what I woke up to. No, Purple Rain is not one of my favorite songs by him. Actually, it's one of my least favorite songs. But the thing with China, rest in peace. I hope she has some. I hope in the afterlife she gets some peace and some rest because things weren't going well. It's an industry that was not kind to her. It was the industry that was made for her, but because she didn't have those classical looks, and the thing that made her popular and made it work, the muscles and probably all the steroids and drugs that she had to do to get into it.
That hindered her as well.
Yep, and that bit and what they wanted her to do that, and they they basically not congratulated, but they basically gave her positive reactions, and they gave her a limelight because of it.
Right.
But it got to the point that now that it became a deterrent to do anything else with her. She couldn't go to any other media. She couldn't translate to something else.
Like a child star, you know, a lot of them fall apart at a certain, you know, once they're out of that child limelight, and you know, it's a shame. But
You know, definitely too young, gone absolutely way too young. 45. Wow.
But I mean, let's transition back to Batman, seeing as we were talking Prince with the soundtrack. The Killing Joke cartoon is starring who? Matt Hamill, I believe, as Joker.
Mark Hamill.
Sorry, Matt. All right, I'm done. I'm out of here, guys.
Now you're the dumbest person on the podcast today.
I'm out of here.
No, basically, you're doing what I do, is get all the names wrong.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, you should. I should bring my stepfather on the show, Mike, if you're listening. Oh, he butchers names. It's the best thing ever. We just let him go. But yeah. So Mark Hamill's playing Joker, and the talk is this is going to be rated R, fellas.
Yeah, it kind of has to be, I think. And you know what's really funny? It's like there's been a lot of bad reaction to that too. That everybody's thinking that it being rated R means that we're going to be seeing a lot of violence with Batgirl and everything else. And it's like, you know what? Here's the thing: the story was violent, not just because what happens to Batgirl in the story. The story was a violent story, period. And there's a lot of mature and adult themes in the story, period. The story needs to be rated R to get it right.
Alan, you're absolutely right. The themes of the show really the themes of the book are really heavy, and they're just a little too heavy to sell to kids under 13. You know, teenagers will be okay with it, but under 13 it's a bit heavy. So I hope it's going to be more along the lines with Deadpool, that they make it rated R, not for the sake of having curses, of violence, and mature themes, but it actually works well because that's what it's about. But I gotta say, Alan, going back to, you were talking about Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. I wonder how they're gonna do that. You know, it's one thing to tell that story in 1988, 89. It's a completely other thing to do that story today, with how sensitive. And let's put it this way: no matter what you do today, you're going to have people that are going to sing the praises for it on the internet, and you're going to have people that are going to hate it, and they're all going to have all these reasons that legitimizes why they hate it.
Well, that's the thing, because there are so many, and from what I've been seeing online, there are so many women, for sure, who hate that story because they see it as the whole women in refrigerator thing in comics, which is not even something that started until Green Lantern with Kyle Rayner.
Oh, wait. It always existed, but nobody started noticing.
It was named women in refrigerator.
Gotcha.
You've got a lot of people upset with the story because they don't like, you know, what happens to Barbara Gordon. It's like, well, listen, here's the thing. Yeah, she's a victim. She becomes a very, very powerful person afterwards, in her mind and her spirit. You know, look at it. You know, don't just talk about the violence. Talk about what happens afterwards. This is part of the story. This shows the brutality of the Joker. This shows his insanity. It's, you know, it's a to me, and I know people don't always agree with me on this. To me, it is the best Batman story that's ever been told. Is The Killing Joke.
Can I ask you guys, is this a one-off, or is there a little arc, or what's the situation?
No, it's a one-shot. It's a one-shot. It came out when it came out. It was back when they were doing prestige format books. Both Marvel and DC were doing these 48-page prestige format graphic novels, which were fantastic.
Which were square bound. Glued, yep. And the cover and the front and back cover were really hard cardstock. Yep. You could still fold, but it was hard cardstock, and the pages inside were gorgeous. They weren't the newspaper print. They were nice white shiny paper with high-end printing. And what did they cost? $3?
$4.95, $3.95.
When they started in the mid '80s, they were $3, and then they started going up, but they were way cheaper than what you pay for a comic book nowadays.
You know, I know I had spoke with you guys about it, and you guys kind of gave me a heads up about it, and you know, when there was that whole controversy about them reissuing the cover, I believe, or the whole book. or
You're
something.
close.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Somebody for the new for the 52 Batgirl, which is a Barbara Gordon but younger, at least the way they drew the cover. Now, I will say this: that Batgirl series was written and it was being produced for preteen girls.
Okay.
It was a pre so what it did was they got this really good artist, I forgot who he was, do a picture of him standing behind Batgirl and her holding her hostage with a gun to her head, and she is she's freaked out and out of terror. People freaked out. It's not the same thing that happened. It's not exactly the same thing that happened in the Killing Joke. First of all, the girl that the Joker had Batgirl that Joker had in front of him looked like a year-old girl. 13,
Yeah.
14-year-old. It wasn't the 20-something Barbara Gordon that opens the door, all right, and then is, without the costume, is killed by the Joker.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
All right, so I think you should be able to do it. I hope they do it. I could see definitely people complaining about it. But like you said, Alan, it was part of the story, part of the narrative. It was part of the 1980s. It was a different time, and I know the time shouldn't excuse things like that, but I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for somebody who I'm not, but it wasn't gratuitous.
It wasn't.
Okay. It
What
wasn't.
happened to Commissioner Gordon was more gratuitous, I think, in that story.
Well, the thing was that something like that did happen to him, and but it's part of the social mores and how we look at what happened, how easily people can look at the victimization and the vulnerabilities of women versus men.
Yeah.
So some people are sensitive about that. So I think they had to do it. To do it right, they needed to do it. Let's see how they tell the story.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to it.
So we'll transition into the other great news we've been given, and that's G.I. Joe and Transformers soundtracks.
Yes.
And I guess other 80s cartoons as well.
Yeah, I don't think it's Transformers. Yeah. Transformers is still it's a proven commodity, so I think it's still Michael Bay, unfortunately.
No. As far as the 80s soundtracks, that is actually going to be. Oh, you know what? You might be talking about two different things, Pedro. We're talking about the soundtracks, not so much the cinematic universe.
Yes, I'm paying attention.
It's all right, folks. This is live.
But
yes,
I mean, people have said they've said this in the past, and so we'll see. Hopefully, it comes to fruition. And I'm hoping that's the other thing I kind of mentioned. Are we going to get some of the really? Are we just going to get the main themes, or is it going to be one album with all the main themes, or is it going to be a G.I. Joe album where we get some maybe some sound effects, maybe some like the in-between cutscene music, or things of that nature, and the same for Transformers and such.
Yeah, I think that there's not enough pieces of music, I think, to put separate soundtracks out. My thinking is it's probably going to be one soundtrack, because you're right. I mean, first of all, G.I. Joe and Transformers shared a lot of the same themes until you got to season 3 of Transformers. And then even each show, there's not enough material.
They repeated the material, but it's enough for one CD. Yes. And I got to tell you, I still watch those shows. I know that if from today's vantage point, as somebody who's not 5, 6, 7, 8 years old anymore, they're awful. But I still love watching them. And
yeah, but that music is I think.
Oh, dude!
Perfect.
After I watch a few episodes, everything in my life, the music is stuck in my head, and everything in my life, I get the soundtrack music. I hear this from the TV show, when tension is ramping up, or I'm going, or it's a segue. All that music, I hear the music in the back of my head.
Yep. Sometimes in life too.
Yeah, I would just like them to add a little more than just score. The main score.
Like with Transformers, when they switch from one scene to the other, they always use that they use the Autobot and Decepticon symbol flipping, and you get that.
G.I. Joe has the same thing.
You know, when I walk from one room to the other, I hear it. Da-na-na-na-na.
Doot, doot. So, yes, I mean that'll be cool if that comes to fruition. I mean, knock on wood. I don't think anything's been official, has it?
It is. It's supposed to be coming out in the summer. All they said was that more news is going to be coming soon. But apparently there is going to be essentially a Sony helmed soundtrack for these themes. It's going to include also possibly My Little Pony and some other Hasbro shows as well. So, yeah. Yeah.
I'm losing interest already.
But it's worth to have a turd or two if you're going to have, prime rib otherwise. So it's okay.
Hey, you're not going to BronyCon?
No BronyCon.
Is that what it's called, or?
Yeah, I think it is.
There is a BronyCon actually. Yes.
Oh, hey.
But there is more Hasbro news.
Yes, sir.
And this is what Pedro was kind of alluding to.
Which I spoiled.
Yes. Yes. So what's really, I mean, this is not something really that's new, except for the fact that now it's pretty official. There is now a Hasbro Cinematic Universe that is, in fact, taking shape with various writers. It's essentially going to include G.I. Joe, Micronauts, Mask, and ROM. And they have a lot of interesting talent who's in this writers group right now.
Yeah.
They've got Lindsay Beer, who basically adapted King Killer Chronicle for Lionsgate. They've got Chio Coker, who was showrunner of Luke Cage, the new Netflix show.
Can't wait.
I'm sorry?
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
And there's more, but there's a lot more.
Okay, Brian
I can't wait for Luke Cage. I can wait for a mixed crossover universe of fucking G.I. Joe with Rom. Let's be honest.
Well, we'll get to that point. But at least they got Brian K. Vaughan, who's he's a damn good comic book writer, had a brilliant series in the 2000s called Ex Machina. It's about a universe where a superhero exists in a 9/11 New York, and manages to save one of the two twin towers because of his power, which he got from an alien race or something like that, and then becomes the mayor. So it was an awesome series. I stayed on it for a couple of years, and so I'm excited. They got somebody who's really good, and then they got Michael Chabon. Is that how you pronounce the name, Alan?
I believe it. I'm going to butcher a number of these pronunciations, actually, but I believe that's it.
His Adventures of Calaver and Clay was a brilliant book about two young Jewish comic book creators from the Great Depression, pre-World War II, creating their own concept. And he's done a lot of comic book stuff, mostly independent stuff, but he does stuff all the time. So they picked really good people to work on the stuff.
They did.
My thing is, you pick all these great people, but you're just mishmashing everything together.
Yes, it is forced. That's the other thing.
It is forced, and that's unfortunately the direction that Hasbro really appears to be going in. And on that note, that kind of does lead into another piece of Hasbro news. And I think that this is a direct response to this verging. Now, granted, with what we're about to talk about here, to Pedro's point earlier, Transformers is not part of the cinematic universe. Transformers is essentially existing separately. However, that being said, Hasbro has filed for a copyright for a convention that, as of now at least, they're calling HasCon.
Creative, Hasbro.
When I saw that name for the first time, the first thing I thought of was, LOL Cats, I Can Has Cheeseburger. I was like, I Can HasCon.
Well, you know what HasCon, the creativity that they put into that name, shows that they have no creativity in their toy lines either at this point.
When I hear HasCon, I hear Has-Been.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be what all the joke is going to be about. That's if it turns to be a terrible show, that's what people are going to refer to.
And this is speculation. It's
speculation.
Fun Pub is pretty much gone. They've been kicked in the ass and sent home. Go kick rocks. That's what they were told. And
basically. And It is, and some people speculated it was because something the Fun Pub did wrong. No, I think it has everything to do, and I had mentioned this earlier, has everything to do with them merging the universes and they wanting to have the control over everything.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what it comes down to. They want to have control over everything. They want to try to have this new universe of sorts. And it's something that they're also now doing in their comics. I mean, they're just announced that there's going to be a ROM series. There's going to be an Action Man series. They're doing more with getting these properties into the IDW comics as well now. So I think what it is that Hasbro wants to have their own Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they wanted to expand to conventions, they wanted to expand to movie theaters, they wanted to expand to comics, and they just want to turn into a thing. I mean, again,
how about get toys right and then work on everything else?
Yeah.
They're not going to, Bill, because what they're doing is, and the reason they probably took it away from Fun Publications is because Fun Publications creates product for collectors, people that love the brand from years before. HasCon is basically, hey people, look, we got new properties, and here's a new convention exclusive or a convention that's going to tie in with a movie that we're coming out with this year or next year. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But the only really good thing about the convention obviously is that at least it means that there's still going to be something for everybody to go to. What my concern is that Transformers will be fine. I think G.I. Joe for the most part is going to be kind of swept under the rug at this convention.
Yeah, I've never seen a bigger redheaded stepchild than G.I. Joe, which made them the kings of the world in the 80s. It's disgusting. It makes me sick. And you know what? I mean, I've always said maybe Transformer fans spend more money, but it's just disgusting that they can make a friggin' movie franchise as big as they have with Transformers, with robots, and you can't make a G.I. Joe movie with actual human beings that is worth his shit.
Bill, they had G.I. Joe in those movies.
Yes. No, I know, but I'm just saying.
No. The Transformers movies. That's what I meant. Not the G.I. Joe movies. The Transformers movies, especially like Part 2 and Part 3 with the U.S. military.
Yeah.
Okay, especially Part 3 when the U.S. military is invading basically Chicago. How awesome was that? Are you telling me that they couldn't do something like that in a G.I. Joe movie with green shirts?
Thank you.
All right. I blame Hasbro. The reason that Transformer fans have no more money because they were way more creative and they thought outside of the box in keeping that line alive in the 90s. They went with Beast Wars, which was a major departure from what they had before. Unfortunately, in the 90s, G.I. Joe went with World War II themes and extreme.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I don't know. I just feel like
they could have done something with it, man, and I think they still can.
So let's ruin it even more and shove it in there with Mask and ROM and
Micronauts.
Well, that's the problem. It's not really a cinematic universe that fits together. If you look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I mean, obviously because the characters are all Marvel, yes, but they can fit together cohesively.
It is because they were made to be cohesive.
They were made to be, exactly.
That is one of the major differences between Marvel and everybody else, especially in 1962 when they first published Fantastic Four. They created a world.
Yeah.
All right, and
a universe, not just a world. I mean,
yeah.
You know, you're talking intergalactic. You know, Silver Surfer. You know, whatever from Silver Surfer to Steve Rogers.
But I will say from a bias standpoint, I am not going to knock this because we're going to get Visionaries out of it again. I love Visionaries.
Yeah, okay, but you're going to get Visionaries hanging out with Rom and the Centurions. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck is that, dude? give me Visionaries by themselves. I don't need Visionaries and G.I. Joe hanging out. The last things I think about together are G.I. Joe and Visionaries, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Look, I thought G.I. Joe Transformer crossover comics were stupid. Let's be honest.
Oh, I see. I love that. I mean, when you have there were two of my great loves from the '80s, and when they did the comic, it was its own continuity. So I was cool with it. I was cool with it. Look, personally, I hope that what they do is that G.I. Joe doesn't completely die. That they basically they fold in like Mask and a few other things into G.I. Joe like Black Ops groups. I don't know. They come up with something.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
you could legitimately fit Mask with GI Joe. I mean, it's kind of
Well, they already have.
well, yeah, that's true. Matt Tracker and all that, yeah.
Mhm.
On only my tracker, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it'll fit, but I still won't be a fan of it because to me, GI Joe's GI Joe, man. Stick with what got you to the dance, bro. That's what I say.
Bill,
Yeah,
you're quoting the original 1964 commercial.
There you go.
Only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe.
Hey,
well,
they should
they
listen to their old commercials then and stop messing around.
if they don't come up with their own, if they don't figure out how to reinvent it, and maybe this is a way of reinventing it. You know what? All I'm gonna say is I hate it, but I hope that we're surprised. We're going to be surprised, and what they put out is just amazing. But
Let's be
so
honest.
yeah,
They didn't do that great with the GI Joe movies, so you think they're gonna be able to mishmash all this crap together and do anything?
well, I will say this: the people they've got mishmashing this are way better than the people that worked in the GI Joe movie, especially the first one that was done during the writer's strike. It had no writers.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you that.
All right, so it's a little bit, Bill, a little bit. I'm not saying that I have any expectations whatsoever, but just a little bit, just a little bit.
All right, I'll give you that.
Well, this is the last JoeCon. A number of us will be attending. We'll see if this thing can do it better. I don't think it will, but
Relax, man. You're gonna have one next year. It'll just be Hasbro run, and hopefully
that's
it'll be
all.
coast, so you have to fly, and I could just drive there.
You know what? It could be. Bill, it
Really
won't
good part, man.
Bill, it's not necessarily going to be in Rhode Island. The official Jedi one, isn't it held everywhere but San Francisco?
Jedi
The Jedi, the Star Wars, the official Star
celebration.
Wars celebration.
Let's be honest. What was it? 2012. They stayed in Rhode Island for a reason because they had a big presence there.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand that, but I don't until I see anything. I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket.
But let's put it this way. Maybe not Rhode Island every year or whatever, but they're gonna. I guarantee they'll look a little closer to home versus what Fun Pub was doing by looking out west, looking down south. I mean, reality is they're an East Coast, a northeastern company, and you'll probably get a little more out this way. Maybe New York will get one again, and Pittsburgh. I mean,
I'm just saying, with my luck, it'll be in L.A. because
Well, yeah.
it's about the movies. It's about the movies that they're selling. That's
Yeah.
what I'm scared. So I hope from your lips to God's ears.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that shit, but I'm trying. You hear me up there? Around
Well, I mean, you could try the one down there. Maybe you
or
can make a
down
deal.
there? Well, that's probably where I'm going. So yeah, you. I just lost like the 2 fans that I had because I'm not religious.
So, speaking of, I mean, we were talking about G.I. Joe. Another piece of G.I. Joe related news is that 3D Joe's, who has so far put out 2 volumes of Collecting the Art of G.I. Joe, which are gorgeous books, has announced a Kickstarter for the 3rd volume.
I have an issue with this Kickstarter. Continue.
Okay, yeah, I think I know what it is, and it might be similar to my issue too. But this particular volume is going to cover the years 1986 through 1987. It's going to have, you can either get the book itself or you can get 2 posters. If you want to get all of it, it's kind of a lot that you have to pledge. But I kind of am not too happy about that. I really did wish that they had a more inexpensive option to be able to get the posters with the book itself. But the book, the book though is beautiful. It is the art for the first 2 volumes, and I think the art for the 3rd too. And this is probably the publishing person to me talking. It is a little dark. I think some of the source material that he used is definitely dark, but the amount and the depth of material that's in there, of media and toys and everything you could possibly imagine, it's wonderful. I think to have that collected.
Now, go ahead.
No. I was just saying, I love the cover. I love those foil covers. I'm a sucker for foil covers. I've been so since 1990. What, Alan? 90, 91?
91 or 92, I think, first foil cover. Yeah.
Now,
Silver Surfer number 50. Sorry.
Yeah.
let me preface this by saying I will be pledging into this. However, I do have a complaint about it. You know, they're giving us 2 new posters, which we expect. Again, you do have to go pretty high in order to get those, plus the book. My complaint is that he went with a separate Terradrome poster and then put the rest of the 87 vehicles on the other poster. However, there's one huge item that, in my opinion, should have got an oversized poster like the flag did, or had its own poster, and that was the Defiant Space Shuttle Complex.
Yep.
I would have threw the Terradrome on the other poster and said, "Sorry, you're the redheaded stepchild of '87."
Or double-sided. I mean, make them double-sided.
Then you got to decide. You got to decide which side. Me and Alan were just speaking about posters like that earlier.
Yeah, this is the thing with posters these days. It's ridiculous. I was just telling Bill that there's like poster books that are out there that the way they work is you have one on one side, one on the other. If you want to hang it up, if you like both sides, you need to get a second book.
Oh, brilliant! You buy another.
Ridiculous.
more. That's more coin for them.
My own publisher does that. My own publisher does that, and I have issue with it because already I'm finding two different sides that I want to put up, and now I feel like I'm gonna have to get another book.
So I mean, but that's my thing, man.
You're right about the Defiant. You're absolutely right. I think.
What's his name? Karsten? Listen, man, please, next time, set up the Defiant. Or matter of fact, why don't you just put out a Defiant oversized poster?
Add it to the next Kickstarter.
There you go. That'd be awesome, man. And I supported your last 2, and I'll support this one. So
yeah, I would say I was a little shocked at the price tag for the book and all the posters. And how many posters? It's 4 posters, right?
No, it's 2 posters. Oh, is there one with the 4 new ones?
I think it's the 2 big posters and 2 smaller posters. I think it's a total of 4.
Yeah.
The magazine covers, right?
The magazine covers are beautiful.
Yeah.
It's 2 magazine covers. It's the Joes coming out of the Tomahawk and the one with Lieutenant Falcon in the forefront. I love the magazine.
Alan, you want to share the page?
Absolutely.
At the top of it.
Yeah, hold on a second. I can share it, and then I can show you guys the 2 posters that we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's one of those that look. The guy's doing a great job. He has been doing a great service for the Joe community for a while now, for 10 years.
And I love it. I love art.
The 3D Joe's website is amazing. Oh, I love this. I have that 86, 87 Tomahawk with Chuckles, Tunnel Rat, Leatherhead, and Roadblock on a metal lunch tray tin.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You
showed your house, yes.
You told me that recently.
But yeah, I mean, I love the G.I. Joe magazine that came out back in the day in '87, '88. I love the art. There's so much of that I wish I kept those issues, or I wish I knew where they were, because this art is just gorgeous. But this is an example of like what they do up inside, showing basically the posters of all the pieces. Again, what came out that year. And this is the cover.
Go back to that poster.
Go back to the poster, yeah, because there's a few things to talk about here.
Point that out.
Bill is absolutely correct. They basically squeezed images from the front and from the sides or the back. That image of the Terradrome is cheesy.
Yeah.
It's cheesy as hell. Whereas, I don't know if people are going to be able to see, if you're watching this on video, the little Defiant that they have, image of the Defiant on the bottom left. That is an awesome image, an awesome action image. You know what? I would have even been cool with. I'd also be cool with the mobile. What's up?
It's probably about 12 inches on the poster, maybe.
And yeah, and the mobile command center is actually kind of cooler, at least as an image, but not to get the Defiant. That's just whack.
Yeah, when you did it with the flag, and then you don't do it for the Defiant. I mean, that's kind of rough. And I know we're killing him here. I mean, he's.
Yeah, I mean, we're being.
If you have to bitch about something like I do, it's
look, we're being nitpicky fanboys.
Hey, look at my shirt, fellas. This is the shirt that I just got in the mail, so I had to wear it, and this one's for you.
Hold on, I have to unshare so that they can see it.
Can you see it?
Okay, we can't see the top. So go down a little bit. Okay, always and get up. Oh, wait a
Well,
minute. We're back to Alan.
Now I
oh,
think we're done.
Alan, why'd you take yourself off share, buddy?
I think I'm off share now.
There you go.
Nice. I'm always angry. That's the Bill that we know and love.
Both
It
behind
is.
banner, and so I need to complain about something. So there's my complaint.
Yeah. Well,
Compliance
I have another complaint for the foil cover. I wanted the 87 cover of the catalog, not the 86. That boy,
Yeah.
that 12-year-old boy who's supersized, standing next to the Joes with a friggin' backpack and a walking stick is ridiculous. Whereas the 87 catalog is very iconic.
Yo, not for nothing, but I swear to God, I've never fucking noticed that in my life. Yo, they're going into battle, and this little kid who's probably 12 is chilling with a walking stick in a backpack. Look at Roblox coming in like a ninja off a vine.
Oh yes, Roblox on a vine, like Tarzan, like Tarzan, the Tarzan ninja of the jungle. I'm like,
I never noticed this guy.
I always thought that of all the covers of the catalog in the 80s, 86 was the worst.
Oh my God, this is
There's nothing
phenomenal.
to me. It's not iconic.
Right.
It's catering to 12 to the 10-year-old.
Right.
All
Right.
right, the other ones are awesome.
Oh my goodness,
I would have loved the
that
87,
is
man.
phenomenal.
Now, while we are on the subject of Kickstarters, there was a piece of news that was just revealed today.
What happened?
I know I'm one of the only people who really is into this Kickstarter, but Ego Force, which their action figure Kickstarter is not starting until late summer, they do have a trading card Kickstarter. So unless you're a trading card fan, it's not really something that's for you. But something that they've basically put up, and I'm going to share again so I can show this. They have added as a stretch goal, and now granted, this is going to be a hell of a feat because right now they're at around, I think, $4,000. They need to get to $10,000. If they get to $10,000 and you have pledged 75 or older, you are going to have this limited to 200 Air Assault Stealth Trooper. You guys see this?
Yeah, he looks like a hive. Is that the case? The green hive troopers?
I don't
He
know,
does, actually.
but that is splendid looking.
Now,
That is
You don't know.
splendid.
You army build those bastards.
And
You know
here's the yeah, you
Marvel
do.
Legends.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's funny because, and I'm not beating my chest here, but I did say this. I said this a while ago that once this Kickstarter started, I was like, you know what? I would not be surprised if they get to a point where they really push this thing over the edge. They decide to have an exclusive figure because why not? They're already doing an action figure Kickstarter, and sure enough, that's what happened.
Look, let me tell you, man. That is freaking awesome. I didn't know about that because I'm liking this Kickstarter more and more. I really looked into it, and what got me liking it is are the what do you call the add-ons? I always forget what they call those add-ons.
Stretch goals.
The stretch goals. The fact that you're going to get a couple of metal tin, or I'm not tin, but actual metal cards, I was like sold.
Well, that's sold out, I think, now. The one that there were two versions that had the metal cards, and I think both sold out. I'm not sure exactly. You'll have to take a
Oh,
look.
they sold out. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have certain levels that have sold out, unfortunately. So you can take a look, and I can show you later to see whether or not one of those is still available. But yeah, they got stretch cards, they got metal cards, they got signed metal cards.
Well, I signed up for the one with the good guy metal card, so.
Oh, you did? Oh, good. Okay.
We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a tall order to get to $10,000 from $4,000 and change in 9 days. But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this will push them over the edge.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, I would say so. So in that case, they need to promote the hell out of it. Tell people, hey, put in and you get this, and you're going to get this exclusive figure limited to 200.
Yeah.
They really need to push that. Hey, we're pushing it right now. Let's do this.
Exactly.
All right, folks. You get let's see. I don't know if the metal card is left, but you get an awesome card set that's going to be that's related to the art on the toys that they're producing. And you're going to get an exclusive figure you can't get anywhere else. You know how much that's going to go for on eBay? An army builder on top of that.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So, I I think that the next thing we could probably talk about, and this is for Gentle Giant. So for those who aren't aware of, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know who Gentle Giant is. Gentle Giant does a lot of statues and busts, and they do a lot of 3D scanning. They're owned by 3D Systems. In fact, one of the biggest things that they do put out is they put out those jumbo action figures, mostly Star Wars. They've also done G.I. Joe and Secret Wars. They take,
Real American hero.
So they take vintage figures and they basically blow them up. And every year, usually around this time, around April, they do have their membership renewal. And the membership for Gentle Giant, depending on what you collect, actually is very good, because what it allows you to do is it allows you to have access to exclusive figures. It allows you to have access to San Diego Comic-Con figures. So if you cannot make San Diego Comic-Con, you get first crack at ordering a San Diego exclusive off Gentle Giant, which to me, that alone is worth the membership, which is about $80 and change. This year, they have gifts up, and I'll screen share so I can show everybody what the gifts are if you do want to become a member. Just bear with me.
The ding 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 ding.
So, you guys seeing this?
Yep.
So
Oh, that does look cool. That does look
Yeah,
cool.
this is the first gift, which is really, really cool. This is a jumbo version of the 1985, I think it is, the Power of the Force Han Solo with carbonite piece. And what makes this unique is that there were a lot of the Power of the Force figures were really just redos of older figures, and they just came with a coin. This was a new mold, I believe, for the Power of the Force line, unless I'm mistaken. And it comes with a jumbo coin, jumbo figure. Very, very cool. So again, this is something you could choose. You're still paying for shipping and handling, and you're paying tax. So I think at the end of the day, it costs you $20 regardless. But this is like a $90 figure. So
Wow.
They also have this Akbar bust. They've got this bust of the Shadow Trooper. And I like this, Ugnaughts with pieces of C-3PO. And I'm not sure if that hair is flocked or not. Or
Hey,
real.
watch your mouth.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, to me, like I said, I think it's always worth it for those. I love Gentle Giant. I love a lot of the things they put out. I buy multiple lines of theirs. You know, Pedro, they've recently put out a new pre-order for Batman Animated Series jumbo figures as well. They're doing superpowers.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. But you know what? Not really. I'm not really feeling it. I'm not feeling it anymore.
Okay. Well, for those who are feeling it, I do recommend this membership, especially if you do feel that you're ever going to be interested in something that they do with San Diego. Because the San Diego Comic-Con stuff, always hard to find. Usually Gentle Giant does knock it out of the park quite a bit when they do that. Now, while we're talking toys, I see, Pedro, you want to talk about 15 toys from the 80s that you might have forgotten about.
Yes, I thought that was something. It's a little something that we could to go through, but we could do that a little bit later if we have time. That's a good way to recap.
Okay.
You know that's these are toy lines from the 80s, and to see if we or you know the audience can remember some of these toy lines. So it's boys and girls, different age groups, but if you remember the 80s, it's a shot from the past.
Yeah.
But I thought that we could do that a little bit later.
Okay. Well, we can go on to Hot Toys.
Oh yeah, we could go on to Hot Toys, absolutely.
There are a lot of Hot Toys announcements that were made over the course of the last couple of weeks, mostly announcing a lot of new figures for Captain America: Civil War, which premieres on my birthday in 2 weeks. I'm sad I won't be seeing it with you guys because I really wish that I could.
Because you suck.
I know. I hope I get to see it at Lucasfilm. I'm hoping that might happen, but I have to find out if I can get a connection there to make that happen. But let me go back into screen share mode so I could show you these pieces. I could show you the pre-orders and all the images that are up there. Again, there's a lot of good stuff that they've essentially announced this week. The first one here is Black Panther.
Yeah, I love this movie design for him. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, this is pretty damn good. It's very faithful to the comic for the most part, though they gave it its own little movie flair.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The comic book one, it was cool. It's all black. This is better than the comic. This gives it a flair that it just breaks up the costume a little bit. You know, the thing around his neck, the kind of like a chain, or I don't know what it is, like a collar. Yeah, like a big collar, and then like the gloves, like the flare at the end of his gloves, right underneath his elbow. It just and all the lines on his face. I mean, this is what Mike Tyson wanted to do with his face with the tattoos, but they didn't realize that. Should have probably done that on a mask. It looks amazing. Oh,
it does.
His claws. Oh, and I love the ears. I love the cat ears. Those cat ears are just amazing.
Yeah, I think our friend Stavros is a huge Black Panther fan, and I know he doesn't buy high-end figures like this, but this would be right up his alley.
He would love it. Yeah, it's expensive, so that's the major reason. If he could, I bet you he'd be all over this.
And, you know, for you guys who haven't been familiar with Sideshow Toys or Hot Toys, shameless plug, the figures are about like $200 and change. This one's $219.99, but you do have the option of doing a payment plan for $49.50 a month, so you can break up your payments if you are interested in these figures but can't shell out all the money at one time right now. And then they don't charge you for payments until they start collecting pre-orders. Now, the next one, and I think this is beautiful. This is Scarlet Witch. But the interesting thing about this one is that this is her outfit from the end of Age of Ultron. And they're calling it her new Avengers outfit, because if you remember at the end of Age of Ultron, they gathered the Avengers together like, oh, these are the new Avengers, and she's one of them. And
oh, okay. Oh, yes, you're talking about right at the end.
Exactly.
She's officially an Avenger, but she doesn't wear that in Civil War?
That's the thing that I'm a little confused about. From shots I've seen of Civil War, it looks like she might be wearing this or another variation of it, but this one they're specifically advertising, and you can see here the branding is Age of Ultron. So I'm thinking there will still be another Civil War version of her, but for now I think they just want to slot this in as well. But I got to tell you something, and I feel embarrassed to say this on a podcast, but this figure's doable, and you know what I mean. I'm sorry, but this figure is gorgeous. This is...
It is a beautiful figure. I mean, that beautiful face sculpt, and I really like the costume design. It's not really a costume, but it's a jacket. But it looks better than what she first had in the movie, which was just street clothes. This looks like a great amalgamation of street clothes and a costume. Yep. It's gorgeous, dude. Forget about the hair is awesome. Those eyes.
The eyes are amazing.
Those eyes are captivating.
I mean, Elizabeth Olsen has very, very pretty eyes. So
she has a name.
Yeah, she has a name. But it definitely shines through, I think, on this figure. This is really Hot Toys at its best. There's a good close-up of the face.
Yeah. How much is this one?
Let's take a look. This one is $224.99.
Wow, it's even more than and the Hot Toys Iron Man or the Iron Man, when all the Iron Men, those are expensive. Those run about $100 more, like $320, $330.
Exactly.
I mean, they're awesome and they have all the stuff, but that is
they have die-cast.
Yeah, that is high end.
So, continuing, we have a battling version of Captain America.
Battling version. What?
Now, I think the reason this is battling version, and I'll go through the pictures, is he comes with this display piece. That I think you could put him in motion of like breaking it. It's weird. I'll go back to the description, but this is what the figure looks like. It's not too different, I don't believe, from the other Civil War Captain America that they recently put up on pre-order.
Gotcha.
To me, it looks like it's the same. But yeah, I think you could like take off one of those pieces to make it look like he's breaking the piece.
Gotcha.
And on top of that, also I should go back here. You see how there's claw marks on the shield?
Yeah.
So he's got battle damage there.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Black Panther. But yeah, that's a great piece. Comes with a little also crossbones helmet.
That's cute.
And this one is $224.99 as well. And the last one, speaking of Iron Man, and you're right, this was $344.99.
Yeah, you
This
see?
is Mark XLVI. I cannot read.
46.
Thank
46.
you. I cannot do that for my life. I cannot.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I just know it's 46. I didn't do it because I could recognize the letters.
So this is diecast, and this is again why the Iron Man figures, to Pedro's point, are so expensive, because they do contain diecast. I love the way he comes with a little cap, helmet piece there. You know, to me, I'll be honest, with me, the Iron Man figures get to a point now where they just all look alike. I really don't think that this armor looks very different from other later armors he's been wearing.
I wouldn't. You haven't looked. This one has this. It has a very sleek look, man. This one is a bit different. It's a little bit different. I hear what you're saying. You could probably see them all the same, but I look at it and I'm like, wow, that is a really pretty design.
Yeah.
It's a very sleek update. And basically what they are is updates. They're not radical departures. They're just update. This one
Right.
has all red from the knee down, which is one of those things. And also the way the plates are on around the legs, the abdomen, the chest. Um, it it's a really nice design. The gold accents are a little bit different. Even the detailing on the mask itself. Now it's not a radical departure from the other ones. If you've got another one, you know you're good. But people that collect this, man, God bless you. Woo!
Yeah,
Those things
seriously.
are. I mean, they are heavy as hell because a lot of them include die cast. But they make. Oh, and this one comes with flames for flying.
Yep.
Oh wow.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, to your point, there's a lot of diecast in these, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're so expensive.
Yeah. Well, oh, absolutely. And the sculpting that in it, because all those individual plates and the sculpting of all the when you take the plates off, there's tons of sculpting on the in underneath the plates, all the circuitry and everything. I mean, they don't they don't miss a thing. They don't cut any corners with that.
No, Hot Toys is really just at the top of their game, and there's really nobody else on the market who produces toys the way they do. And they're really now the official movie product for action figures, I think, as far as the official movie company, because they're the ones who get the scans perfectly. The interesting thing is, I don't think they have all the licenses, because I haven't seen any Hot Toys, for instance, like any Hot Toy Suicide Squad figures. So I don't think they have the DC license, which is a damn shame, because I'd love to see Hot Toys do.
Oh wow, you're
Suicide
right.
Squad.
Oh yes, they do. They do.
Do they?
Yeah, they have the Batman versus Superman figures. Those are Hot Toys.
But maybe they don't have license to Suicide Squad then, because there's no Suicide Squad figures to my knowledge, which is very odd.
I think what my 2 cents is that they probably want to they know nothing of Suicide Squad, and they want to see what kind of reaction it gets. And it could be the type of thing that it afterwards they'll start pumping them out.
Right.
All right, I think with Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of the same thing happened. I don't know. I don't seem to remember Hot Toy solicitations for Guardians of the Galaxy figures until after the movie was done.
Right.
After the movie premiered, I should say.
Because I have to say, I want a Harley Quinn. If Hot Toys makes a Harley Quinn without me even knowing what it's going to look like, instant buy for me.
I'd like to say that I would totally be into the Deadpool, but I mean the Deadshot, but I gotta see I gotta see how Will Smith turns out. I'm not necessarily interested in a Will Smith figure.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe it'll look cool. I don't know.
So, moving right along.
Yes.
We've got some Transformers things to talk about.
Oh, Transformies. Oh, Transformies. Yes. I think I'll screen share this.
All right.
Yeah. Screen share for life. All right. Well, Transformers chugging along as always. Always has Transformers, always with the products. All right. There was a reason why there was a reason why in the '86 movie Platinum Edition Target exclusive there was no Rodimus Prime, and there was a reason why the other Platinum Edition that has the Scourge, Cyclonus, and the sweeps didn't have Galvatron because Rodimus, and the transformed version of Hot Rod and Galvatron are coming out in their own 2-pack. Now, this depending on your opinion, this may be the weakest of the three, or it's all right. It comes with a Rodimus Prime, and this Rodimus Prime is not. It's from a special line that Hasbro produced back in 2006, 2007 called Titanium, where they made Transformers that were die-cast. They cost a little bit more, and in theory, it was a great idea. The execution wasn't great. They had the engineering on some of them, and the sculpting because of the engineering left some things to be desired. But I overall liked the line, and I have to say that this Rodimus Prime was one of the better molds. If you do have the luxury of seeing it, it's they're chunky because they use die-cast. These things were chunkier than normal, so he is very chunky. But I don't think he has the spoiler in the back. But he does transform into the Space Winnebago, which is cool. Now the one that's controversial is the one on the right, and that's Mr. Galvatron. Galvatron, this was not a popular mold. This is an asymmetrical transformer, and what I mean by asymmetrical is that when he turns into a tank, which is fine. Galvatron wasn't a tank, but that works. He transforms from a tank to a robot, and when he's in a robot form, he's very asymmetrical. He does his arms are different on each side. The legs, I think, are slightly different. It has a decent shape, but one of the major complaints of it is that it's a deluxe size, so it's undersized. Okay, so it's only about 5 inches. All right, 5 inches, maybe a little bit less, and in this box set, the titanium figure towers over it in length and width.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colors that they used, at least the ones like I'm seeing through here with the lighting used to take it, and he comes with the Matrix, which I hope it has a chain so he can wear around his neck. And I guess it's meant for you to recreate the final fight sequence in the '86 movie, but I don't know how necessary this one is going to be for people. We will see.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of these pieces I think that are kind of unnecessary, but they're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the movie, which is cool. Can't complain about that. I definitely don't think that there's anything that's going to hold a candle to the Target piece that's coming out that we talked about last time, which is all those Autobots with the movie poster.
But I gotta say, the art on this is amazing. The
art is beautiful.
The box art is awesome, and the art inside it is awesome. Oh, Rodimus does have a spoiler, and I don't know why they're both crouching the way they are. And the toys are, they have the toys. They have pictures of the product in the back of the box of both of the toys as both of the figures in robot form, but they're both crouching. Especially, Galvatron might be sitting, and you know what? That's kind of weak. The Matrix that it comes with does not have a chain, so you can put it around Galvatron's neck. That's weak.
Right.
And I bet you Rodimus can't hold it. I bet you he has closed fists. So that's a little weak. But that's the third, I guess, and final set of these Platinum editions for this year.
Right.
All right. The other one I wanted to share. This is a Japanese one. In Japan, they do a lot of cool stuff that they just don't do here. They're going to come out with a metallic version of what they call the Kabaya gum kit.
Oh, yes.
It's a little box that comes with a kit that you build, basically a model of a transformer that you have to cut off the sprues, put together, and it actually transforms. And one of the best ones they've done is our friend here, Fortress Maximus. Stands about 6 inches tall. It looks really cute next to. I have the original one, the one that came out about 3-4 years ago. That standing right next to my regular Fortress Maximus. But this one, I guess, is going to be metallic. I'm going to be honest with you. In these pictures, I don't notice the metallic.
Yeah, because I didn't. You're right. Because there was one that came out before this.
Yes, the one. It came out about 3-4 years ago.
Was
All
even
right,
that long ago? Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. I had that one. That one I did get.
yes, this one. The picture here doesn't. It could be the lighting, okay, or it's the original, or maybe it's the original one. I don't know. But this thing here is. Eh, I don't see what's metallic about it. What is cool though, it comes with a miniature power glide that you put together and he transforms. I
Right.
mean, very simple, but it's adorable. It's a little itty bitty power glide. I mean, he's got to be about an inch tall, if not less.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
cute.
wait a minute. And yes, and this one's like the original. Also comes with a little wind charger, again under an inch as well. So this art may not. This may not be the final art. We got to see because we have a weakness for all things metallic when they're
Exactly.
reissued metallic. And speaking of metallic, this next piece, while not Transformers, the transforming robots, redheaded stepchild of the '80s, GoBots. Well, we're getting a quote-unquote masterpiece. I wouldn't call them masterpiece because they don't have the size, but we are getting the GoBots that we should have always gotten. All right, now these are Japanese, okay, made by some company called Action Toys, so this could be third party,
I think it is third party
okay.
because it
These
doesn't have their names. I don't believe.
No, it doesn't, but it also could be. It might have their Japanese names. That's why I don't know. I don't know if
Oh,
this
okay.
is. I don't. This could be licensed from Bandai, but I'm not sure. But look at this cycle. It is awesome. Okay, they did a great job. Great robot form. Now I think they're only going to be about 4 or 5 inches. They're not going to be that big. Great motorcycle form. Okay, I mean, look at this. This picture is amazing. I mean, it's all about the lighting, but this picture of Psykill in robot form, the colors are just they just pop.
It does.
They're
It's very,
it's
very
it's a
nice.
bright blue, bright red, the orange canopy for the front of the paint app for the front of the motorcycle. The colors pop, and the plastic and the gray plastic for the rest of the robot parts is a very shiny, metallic-looking silverish plastic. Okay, the next one. Wow.
That's sweet.
Okay, leader one they gave him not the cartoon face, they gave him the toy face with the vents for the mouth. This is beautiful. I mean, the articulation on these are insane. The leader one has double hinge elbows. Okay, looks like ball points for the shoulders, for the hips. I bet you that he twists at the waist. Okay, single hinge knees, but I bet you they get a great amount of range and ball pointed feet. So this thing is for real, and that is a gorgeous F. I mean, I don't know anything about planes, but I'm gonna call it an F-15. All right,
I
that
think
is
he was an F-15. Yeah.
yes, that is a gorgeous '80s military plane. That is really really nice. The next one, okay, that's I only know two guys in GoBot. Sorry, GoBot fans. I don't know who this guy is, but he was a major character, and I remember seeing a toy of him back in the '80s. He's got a drill for he's got a big drill bit for his head.
I love how he has hands that are blocked by something.
It's part of the
It's
transformation,
part
but
of the transfer. You know what? What's sad? I had this one as a kid. I can't remember his name.
you know what? It's not so bad, Bill, because at least it looks like it's something that he can use to pummel people with.
Yeah, that's
When he,
true.
all right, so at least
Brass knucks.
and at least it's different colors. It's a silver piece that has a red piece on top of it, so it looks like an actual weapon. Like what do you call those things? Oh my God, a friend of mine got stopped by the cops in the 8th grade because he had brass knuckles. That's it.
That's what I just said. Brass knucks. Yeah.
Oh, brass knucks. I don't know what a knuck is. This is the first time I've ever heard anything knuckles being referred to as knucks. But now I will use it forever.
Professor Pedro didn't know brass
I know.
knucks.
He doesn't know brass knucks, but he knows every freaking knowledge.
Look, Title IX is a lot more relevant than brass knucks.
Not if you. I'd rather get hit with Title IX than brass knucks.
Oh, and not if you were not if you were a major university in the '70s and all your money was going to your football and basketball programs. But anyway, the men's side. But anyway,
I like that head sculpt. I like how to use the drill.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, they really went the extra yard. These are really, they have a beautiful style. These are really nicely stylized. Really, really like him, and his drill mode is really cool. I mean, it looks like one of your, what typical, sci-fi drill. I mean, this could have been in the GI Joe cartoon. It could have been something Destro used to tunnel under GI Joe or under the actually, what was it? Underneath the Arctic.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at these pictures.
Does the robot mode drill look a lot longer than the robot? I mean, I'm sorry, the drill mode. The drill looks a lot longer than the robot mode.
You're right.
You're right.
It might be perspective, but you're right.
Or it could be that they got really, or they got really cute, and there's a way of extending it.
Yeah. Now, if you look, Alan, because if you count the lines,
Mm-hmm.
You count 1, 2, 3, probably 4 on the robot mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the drill mode.
Oh, you know what? I'm calling it. The head. The head is not the drill. It's hit. The head when it's in robot form. All right. The drill from the alt form, the vehicle form, is probably hidden somewhere in his body. Okay. When he is in vehicle form, his head is hidden, and the vehicle drill is the one that's out.
I acquiesce to the Transformer God.
It could be two separate pieces. That's what it looks like to me. Oh, they don't have that high res picture of the vehicle. I love that rod drill. It should have been drill rod.
Yeah, drill rod sounds a little.
Rod drill. That actually sounds like somebody's name.
Rod drill. It sounds like a Game of Thrones character.
Oh my God. Okay, next one. Here's another GoBot character. I don't know. This one's a little more boxy, but hey, not bad in robot form. Not a bad robot form at all. What's this guy's name? Battle Robo. They really went the extra mile to come up with this name.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, and what's that? Okay, he turns into a really cool looking tank, I'll tell you that much. It's not even a tank. It's like a little buggy tank thing. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like it's a submersible, but it's got a cool turret on top. And I love the tracks. They're doing these and they're gonna do now. They're planning to do a few others that they don't have finalized yet. And there's one that's I think he's a good guy car. He was one of Leader One's lieutenants. I don't know his name, but the prototype looks sweet, especially in robot form. And this plane, which is probably a bad guy plane, looks cool as hell. It's again in robot form with two swords hanging from tilts on each side of his waist. That is hot.
Yeah, I mean, I just with everything else that I buy, I don't think I can get into these. Unfortunately, they do look awesome, but man, there's so much else to.
Here's the thing: they are deluxe. They're by Transformer standards, Hasbro Transformer standards. They're deluxe size. Now they're imported, and they have an amazing amount of detail and paint apps. I don't know if they have die-cast. I doubt it. All right, they're $45 a pop. So
yeah,
this is a collector thing. But I will say this. Dude, did you know that they're coming with display pieces, these metallic plates, okay, that creates its own standalone display piece with a stand, with one of those Bandai-like stands, so you can have them in flying poses, and they all interconnect, so you can create a whole wall display, not electronic, but metallic, Cybertron-esque like wall by putting them all together. So for the $45, it looks a little bit better. That they're going to. That's what I heard they're going to include.
Yeah, and if there's no die-cast and that's what they're including, I still think that's worth the price. Especially if it is third party, then it's definitely worth the price.
It's worth the price. Again, it's a luxury, and you really have to be into them. Now here's one that I am totally weak about. First of all, I love Scorponok, G1 Scorponok.
Yes.
Okay. And our good buddies Iron Factory are doing a quote-unquote Legends size Scorponok. A Legends is we've discussed before. That's small. That's the small 3 to 4 inch transformer scale that a lot of third parties create figures for. Now this one is going to be about 7 to 8 inches because he's supposed to be good. 8 inches, 18 centimeters. All right, but this is a beautiful beast. Again, way too expensive. But this, I mean, in robot form, it just kicks major butt. I can't believe how they just get incredible amount of detailing and articulation at this scale.
I know.
Okay.
These are, again, the price point is just so up there, but they are beautiful pieces, and they do an
And it
amazing
makes
job.
and not for nothing. To me, the price point does make sense because when you consider what Hasbro produces at the quantity that they produce, which is millions or hundreds of thousands, I'll say, and how hollow and brittle the plastic is, and then you get somebody who manufactures third party for a smaller fan base, 1,000. Maybe a
Yeah.
couple of thousand, okay? With lots of weight in plastic and this type of sculpt, this Scorpion mode is absolutely bazinga. I mean, this is gorgeous. All right, and then let's see what the city mode looks like. And the city mode is knucking futz. Okay, knucking futz. That is really nice. Very simple. All right, it's it's another one of those spread eagle cities, but hey, it works. Got a nice platform, nice background. I mean, nice tower. You know what? I approve. I
And it really
approve.
works for its size. I mean, for its size, that is a good city mode.
It is, and there's a picture of the back, and even the back, no kibble. I mean, you've got the legs on his back, but he always had the legs in the back, and it makes him look really fierce.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the gun turrets in the back. Really, really, really cool, man. This is a really nice piece. Lord Scorpion is the name. It's a lot better than what was the other one? Battle Robo, or
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Rod Drill.
and Rod Drill. They're both classics. They're both classics. Now, this is one of those things. This is another third party. I at the last New Jersey Comic Con, I somehow lucked out and I won the new Combiner Wars Protectobot set and the new Combiner Wars Combaticon set. Now there's a third party other than Perfect Effect that is producing upgrade kits. And this one, I like it and I don't. All right. This one gives you a whole new chest for Defensor,
Mm-hmm.
new hands, which I kind of like a little bit better than the Perfect Effect. And it still maintains what the Combiner Wars original hands come with, which is the gun on the back side of the hand. And new feet. Oh, and Bill, this is for you. They thicken the thighs. They give you a thigh piece.
Bill likes his thick thighs.
Absolutely. It's not. I don't like the head. I will say this. I don't like the head sculpt. I like the one he comes with a lot better. This head sculpt, I think, is too small, or maybe it's the right size, but I'm not crazy about it. All right, and here are all the different pieces that you have to add on. I don't know. There might be some construction involved. I mean, not construction. You might have to do some unscrewing, and then most of the pieces turn into weapons for the actual limbs,
Mm-hmm.
and Hotspot as the torso. All right, so I mean, it's cool. It costs as much as an individual Perfect Effect upgrade kit, which is about $45, but it comes with the hands and feet plus the chest piece. So actually, it's half the price. I'd be curious to find out what kind of quality it is, because the Perfect Effects cost more. So I like to see. I would like to see one. And the first one they had announced was the Bruticus one, and I think the Bruticus is a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Again, all the weapons, you can attach them with Bruticus. You can attach them in robot form. I'm sorry, in vehicle form for all the members. They seem to attach even to the guns that came with Bruticus. I mean, I'm sorry, the torso onslaught. All right, not bad. You know, these are prototypes, so the plastic is different. It is gonna be a different color. I like the head sculpt on this one. Yeah, you know, I really do like the fingers a lot better. Oh, and major upgrade, the finger splay. You can spread the fingers apart and basically do the Vulcan peace sign. The perfect effect ones, they don't move. Here's the extra thigh pieces. Not bad, not bad. All right, and you can even transform while he's wearing the hands in a Bruticus form. He can actually turn his hands into guns, so that's kind of cool.
That is very, very cool.
Yeah, the head sculpt is a little bit better, but I find these head sculpts to be a little too overly detailed, and it doesn't really go well with the aesthetic of Combiner Wars, which is a lot less detailed. It's a Hasbro mass production figure, so the heads. I think the head sculpt should be a little blockier.
Yeah.
All right, but not bad, not bad. I'll buy that for $1. Unfortunately, it won't be.
I'll
And
buy that for $1.
this one I did because I'm a huge fan of the Masterpiece Ironhide. Okay, and somebody came up with a really nice upgrade kit. Now it's going to require you taking apart your Ironhide. I am assuming because of the way it works. I like my Ironhide, but this head sculpt is slightly better. This head sculpt is slightly better, slightly more G1.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yeah.
No, go right ahead.
I was just going to say, no, I think you're right. I think that it is a little bit more cartoon accurate, I believe, which I didn't really think that the other one was not cartoon accurate until I saw this.
That's why I hate these third parties, okay?
Right? That's
because the figures look great until you see an upgrade that makes it even greater.
Exactly.
All right, it's maddening, and I will say this. And looking at it, that head sculpt might be better to scale with that body.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I mean, I would have to see it in hand, but I like the fact that it's a little bit bigger. It looks like it's a lot better scale. All right, and here's the other big thing, Alan, about this. This is the one that people have been clamoring for. All right, now warning: this is a company I've never heard before, and since they're calling this upgrade by their name, they're Transfusion, and they are TFS slash or hyphen 01. So this is probably the first entry in the third party game in the third party market. So who knows what the quality is going to be, but they're going to give you they're taking away the side skirts and raising and at the same time raising the tires on his backside.
Wow.
All right, so somehow you take off the side skirts, okay, and I don't know how they do it, but you got to take everything off so it looks kind of like it was never there. I hope there's no cutting involved because that would just be awful, but probably not. So you're gonna have to really screw and unscrew this thing, okay? And then those side skirts have now been moved up to fill out his chest. Which, Alan, when you see that in red filled out, that's actually gonna look really nice. It's gonna give him a really, really thick chest. I think that's going to look really nice. Here's a picture of it in vehicle form. Now I got to say that now this is a prototype, so it's not final, but I do see a gap in vehicle form where part of the new panel touches the rest of the original robot. I'm assuming that they're going to fix that up and get that nice and flush. Because if not, then that's a deal breaker. Because that looks awful in vehicle form, having all those gaps.
It does. I was going to say, it really loses you, I think, in the vehicle form. If you have him displayed as robot, he's fine. But
yeah. Alan, like I said, this is a prototype.
It's a prototype. You're right.
It's not a finished product. They probably they were eager to get pictures out, to get interest in it, and to get pre-orders. All right. Now, if you see, this is a lot better on the back. Instead of having the tires as his buttocks, which is what the original Masterpiece does, it folds. Now it's above his buttocks, underneath his back kibble backpack. It looks really cool. I gotta say, it looks promising. All right. I don't know if it's worth it. Okay, but I don't know how much worth it. I don't know how much it's gonna cost, and I don't know what the quality is gonna be because again, this is a new company. At least for me, it's a new company. Never heard of them. Oh, the pre-orders are up at Toy Dojo. There's a website. A Transformers toy website called Toy Dojo, and it's $40. Now it's not terrible. I
That's
mean,
not bad for an upgrade kit.
it's a few, it's not that many pieces, but I need to see what is required for you to put this on them,
Yeah.
because it looks like you have to do some extensive work with a screwdriver, which I don't mind, but it is a masterpiece, and sometimes I'm not sure how much I want to upgrade a masterpiece per se. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but you get my drift.
I mean, I think that's the idea, though, is that with the masterpieces, the idea is it's in its name. I mean, it's a masterpiece. You're really not supposed to have to do much with them. It's the Hasbro pieces more than anything else that usually either require the upgrades or people request the upgrades for. It's hard to justify, in my mind, upgrading a masterpiece unless they really get it wrong the first time around, which is rare.
Yeah, yeah. Well, unfortunately, it hasn't been that rare. Since they changed designers, they went back to the original designer of the first few masterpiece, of the first 10 masterpieces, or the first 9 actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the new stuff he does now the new stuff now is a little clunky, and what they did with that Ironhead, while very cool, they should have found another way of doing that.
Right.
All right, because the ones prior to this, and I think the first one this guy came back to do was the Ultra Magnus, and a great toy. For the price, he could have used a little more articulation. Luckily for that, I got the upgrade kit, which was cheaper, which was like $17.
Yeah.
I picked up at New Jersey Comic Con. It allows you to do this, if you allow me to show you here. All right, and I really like it. With the original build, when you stretched his arm out, he only got this much articulation. It would only go out this much. I just added a new piece that I had to unscrew. I had to unscrew the shoulder, take out the older piece, and replace the new one. Now he could go out this much.
Ah.
Okay, so we went from just having this, barely one click, to, as depending on how far out, to this many clicks. So it's a lot more dynamic. And the other thing that I liked about it,
Very descriptive.
I'm sorry,
I said that's very descriptive. This many.
this many exactly. Check out. This was the original gun. Okay, the original gun looks basically, on this huge figure, looks like a pea shooter. And for some reason, instead of it's like a grayish purple. I don't know why the color. Well, they came out with this same exact upgrade kit. All right, they gave you an upgrade for the gun. The color matches it closely, and actually, I think the color is better. It's a lot more gray than it is purple.
Right.
All right? Now the gun is longer.
That's cool.
I like it a lot better. All right. And this for the $17. Originally, I think it was about 25. So this one was a nice, it's a nice little upgrade. It doesn't fundamentally change the figure, which is what I like, versus the new Ironhide one. While it looks great, it does fundamentally change the figure. Now, if we have a few moments here, I just want to quickly show you guys, finish off this Transformers segment. If you remember the last time I showed you the super duper oversized MP10 Optimus Prime. All right, we're talking about, 12-inch figure here.
This is the MPP-10, right?
Thank you. The MPP-10. This is the Japanese. This is a Chinese knockoff by a company called Weijiang, or Weijia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, but it is as good or better than the original. All right, at least quality-wise. Obviously, they didn't have. It's easy for them. They didn't have to come up with the sculpt from scratch, but in reproducing it, they did an amazing job with die cast and everything. Well, and a third of the price of the original masterpiece Optimus MP10. Doesn't come with a trailer, but whatever. All right, the trailer usually gets left in the box that it came with, put away in your closet, because there's just so much space to put Optimus Prime in a huge trailer when you have other masterpiece. They did another one, and this one was really creative. Now, we were talking about the Transformers movies before. The Transformers movies are bad. They're not good movies. The robots, how they redesigned the Transformers wasn't that great. They gave them a very organic look. But I gotta say that it's one of the best things that Hasbro has done toy-wise, Hasbro and Takara. All right. And one of the figures from the last movie, Age of Extinction, was this right here. This is what they call the Invasion Mode Optimus Prime
I
from the
remember this one.
okay, this is a Voyager. Okay. So it's very slim, and to give you a size comparison, this is the oversized Optimus Prime, and this is the, standing right next to each other, and this is the Invasion Mode Optimus Prime. What's great about this is they recolored the Invasion Mode Optimus Prime in G1 colors, okay, and then he transforms into the flat cab, the original cab from the original G1 series.
That's what almost tempted me to get him.
All right, this is the Japanese one, so it has an uncovered face, but I'm not going to transform it now. But his cab mode is gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right, he's got extra paint apps, the way the Takara loves to do it. The only thing I didn't like about it, it's not bad, but it has the face without the faceplate.
The mouthpiece, yeah.
Okay, without the mouthpiece. Thank you. All right. Well, Wei Jiang took this style, this aesthetic, this toy, and they masterpiece the son of a bitch. Okay, welcome to MP01. I don't know what they call it. I forgot what they call it.
What?
Okay. Look at this guy. Okay, diecast again, like the other one. This guy is not only did they upscale it, they upped the engineering on the transformation with diecast. I mean, this whole when he's in cab mode, his whole side is you can't really see it, but all this right here is diecast. I mean, look at these legs. Okay. Oh, he comes with a ton of weapons. This gun right here. This gun right here are the barrels on the side of the trailer mode, the cab mode. You see these barrels right here? It transforms into a gun. And again, size comparison. Voyager Hasbro Takara version, Wei Jiang. We're not playing around version. All right. This thing is gorgeous. The big boy version. Again, it was pricier when it first came out, like 150. Some people are trying to charge a lot for it, dude. You can get it from a guy in New Brunswick, who's on eBay. Okay,
That's right by my house, man.
Yes, we need to find this guy because he's got a whole bunch of Transformers. He has this for under $100.
Why don't you hit him up and tell him your friend lives right next to the town right next to him?
Yeah, he's got. I think what's going on. This guy might be Asian, or he has some connection to the factories. This guy's got a whole bunch of. This guy has an insane amount of bootleg Transformers. Okay, KO and bootleg in the good sense, not the Korean store, flimsy crap that breaks the minute you try to transform it. I'm talking about this type of stuff. He must have boxes of them. He must have like a warehouse full of them.
Well, Alan still has a free New Jersey Transit pass, so.
I do.
All right, send it to me. No.
I got two because they never checked me the last 2 times I went.
No, I am driving out. I didn't even think about that. I should get in contact with this guy and see if we can go because
that's the town right over from next door to me. So
because he does best offers and he's offering, and I talked to him about a best offer on something, and he basically said, "Hey, talk to me outside of eBay, because I'll hook you up. Because if I don't have to pay eBay fees, I'll hook you up."
Exit 9, bitches.
Absolutely. Now,
exits are a real thing in Jersey.
So when I saw it in New Brunswick, I wanted to bring it up to you, Bill. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you, here's another version of the Voyager Age of Extinction Optimus Prime. This one came in a 2-pack. I think it was a Toys R Us 2-pack, or it might have been a General 2 or a Target 2-pack, or I don't know. It might have been a general release 2-pack of a chromed classics, the 2006 Optimus Prime, and it came with a nicely decked out and not I don't think it really has any chrome because I don't see it anymore. I don't see any chrome on him. Invasion of in evasion mode Optimus Prime, like this, the one I just showed you right here. Okay, this is just the regular store release in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, there was a third party that came out with an upgrade kit for any evasion mode Optimus Prime, including a new head. This is he. It gives it a slight God Jinrai style and look. That is a chromed out chest piece that you add. That, my friend, is a new head sculpt, and that is actually, now that I look at it, yes, that is the God Jinrai head sculpt. Okay, look at these with wings that you attach to the back with the guns on the side. Okay, the guns. Okay, and even little foot plates, even cutesy little foot plates. But this
So,
thing is just all right. I just couldn't resist.
so to be clear, those get added on to the movie figure.
Yes, those get added on to this figure.
Jeez.
Okay, and you can replace the head, and it comes with a new head. You can keep the old head on, but why would you?
Right. Well, yeah.
Unless you're a millennial. Millennials will keep the head on. You know, they grew up with the movie, so. So that's my toy segment for this show. So Alan, we'll see if Alan, Bill, if you're interested, pick those up. You can get them at most retailers. The Weejang Optimus Prime, this guy right here. It's just I've mentioned this before. What I like about Transformers is that yes, it's Arrested, my Arrested Development, I'm man-child, whatever. But you know what? Fuck all that. To me, this is art.
Yeah.
This is art. I mean, that I could take a statue like this of something that looks straight out of science fiction, out of science fiction books, science fiction comics, cartoons, TV, and to be able to pose this any way that I want, okay? And because the posing on this is just bananas, okay? This guy can just do it all and have it look organic and natural on my shelf with these beautiful paint apps. The only problem with these things is the amount of dust that accumulate on your shelf.
Oh yeah.
If you don't play with them.
And if you get that's the problem. Yeah. There's so many nooks and crannies for dust to get in there.
Oh, that's the other thing, especially with this kind of sculpting.
Exactly.
You want to talk about nooks and crannies? I mean, the sculpting on these things.
Canned air, man. Get some canned air and just hit it every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is, like me, you wait a few years, the canned air doesn't do anything.
Yeah, just don't inhale that shit. It's no good for you.
Oh no, they got that. Some of them now come with that bitterant, which I hate. They call it a bitterant. Basically, it has this bitter smell and taste.
Wait, did you just hear him? He goes, which I hate, which just implies that he's inhaling cans of air.
No, we don't imply that. I wouldn't infer that here. Okay, I'm not implying anything. All right, it's just that I like my compressed air to smell and taste good.
Listen, guys, before we move on, just a very quick shout out. Pedro, I don't know, Bill, if you've met this guy. Pedro, you obviously know him. You remember Rob McCaffrey, Hector X Delgado from the Tri-State Vipers?
No, I don't remember him. It's been such a long time. Was that the cute little guy?
Looks like E.
He was kind of like the E of the group. He was into something he was always traveling.
Did you recognize that?
I don't know. I don't remember it. I haven't heard of the guy.
Well, he is listening to us. He is watching us live, and he wanted to get a shout out. So, Rob, we miss you.
Rob, we miss you terribly. We miss your girlfriend too. She was really sweet, but we miss you a lot, man. So. Hope to see you at the barbecue or at some event, or invite us to something. You don't have to have your other friends there, so we don't embarrass you. All right, it could just be us.
And while you're shouting people out, I want to shout out Will Bell. He posted on the podcast Facebook page shouting us out. So I wanted to say thanks for checking us out, man.
Awesome.
Thank you, fellas.
Yes, thank you.
I'm glad to know that we have 2 people listening.
Exactly. Hey, we got double the viewers right now, so.
Hey, we went from 1 to 2. I mean, that's a 50% upgrade. Somebody needs to mute their notifications.
Yeah, right. Hey, more people are reaching out to us, so people are catching on, and hopefully we give them some enjoyment during the week.
The week and holidays and for on and on. This is going to be around forever.
That's it. It's in the annals.
Yep. I'm doing this during Passover.
No, okay. July.
Yeah, but oh please, Mister. I'm doing this over Passover. You're as much as a Jew as I'm a Catholic. All right. I like some of the rituals, but can we get moving? I don't want to be here more than 30 minutes.
In July when it's Ramadan, then get back to me.
Oh yeah.
The best thing about I know we're not supposed to go this far out. The best thing about being
it's our podcast.
Catholic,
We do whatever the hell we want.
The best thing about being a Catholic kid, and this is toy related. In the 80s, my grandmother, it was very important for my grandmother for me to be, to do my sacraments as a Catholic kid. So I had to do my communion, and I had to do my confirmation. And I'm not going to go what they are, my penance, it doesn't even matter. But what was great about it was for her and and I guess for the family, for the community, it's some kind of achievement. I guess like a bar and bat mitzvah, some kind of achievement. So I got toys. So after the ceremony, I was like, great. I was 8 years old, 8 to 10, and I was like, Grandma, we're heading Fifth Avenue in Brooklyn. I want my toys. So I had just taken off. I mean, it was an ordeal. My grandfather goes and he starts fighting with Jewish tailors on trying to get the best price for a suit for me. All right, in Borough Park, Brooklyn. All right, and my grandfather barely spoke English, but he's arguing and haggling with them. Okay, so I take it off immediately, and I was like, "Okay, Grandma, we're going to the toy store."
What'd you get, Megatron?
No, either GI Joe, usually GI Joe, and I had gotten the Thundercats. I remember that's how I got my first. No, that was another trip. My grandma was too nice. She would take me to Fifth Avenue. My grandma, we would walk about half a mile or more to go to the toy store, okay? And then I'd make her take the bus back. I would walk there, but I wasn't gonna walk back.
Oh my goodness.
When I was a kid, I never went to a single toy store in the city because I was always in Westchester, and I always went to Child World, and I went to the Macy's. And if I was lucky, I went to Toys R Us. Toys R Us was a treat.
Child World was my toy store as well. Where Eddie's Toys R Us is, that used to be my Child World. We've all been there together.
Yep. I remember when you mentioned it. No, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, Alan, and maybe even Bill as well. Being outside of the city was a lot better because the local toy stores, which really was seriously for me, it was a Korean store that sold everything. They overcharged. GI Joe figures were $10 then.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, I remember one time it was like $9. So it was, you could get anywhere by the train, but where we were in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, there wasn't a major toy store that we could take the bus to.
What were they doing? Importing them to Korea back to America?
I don't know. The only time that it was cool was when we went up to Fulton Street to A&S. You guys remember this? I mean, I don't. I think there were. I don't know if this was all over the country or just in New York or just the East Coast, but there was this huge Macy's-like store, and this one was huge. Macy's, as big as Macy's on Herald Square almost, with a huge parking lot. I remember getting so many toys from there. All right, and they had the better toys, and there was a Sears and a Macy's near there too, but the Korea store was my spot.
My father used to work on the side. I mean, he was a teacher for 35 years, but on the side he worked at Abraham and Strauss. In
A&S. Hey.
A&S had one hell of a toy department, and I never heard much about it. I always heard about Macy's and Sears. Yes, I never really went there because I always went to A&S. A&S had a delicious toy department.
A&S for a major department store had the best. I remember going in there and my eyes popping out because they had everything. They still had Star Wars in '85 and lots of it, Masters of the Universe, GI Joe, Transformers, and they always had in stock the new stuff. The last thing I bought there, actually, the last figures I bought there, I bought about 2 or 4 Battle Force 2000 figures from '87. from 1987, and then my first figure from ANS as well was Zartan on the Swamp Skier.
I think I got Serpentor there. I got Serpentor there. I got Duke there. I got I remember certain figures that I specifically got there.
My Zartan I got in FAO Schwartz in Manhattan.
Wow.
I remember
Wow.
my aunts took me, and that's what I took home.
I got mine in Toys R Us, which again for me, going to Toys R Us is a treat.
Oh yeah, Toys R Us. I mean, there were a couple of Toys R Us in Brooklyn, but you had to drive to, and going in there, that was the heyday of. Come on, the '80s were the heydays of toys. I mean, I know.
You remember the 5 and dimes and the
Woolworth, baby.
Woolworths. Yeah, you had the 5 and dimes. You had the drug stores would always have a awesome selection of toys.
Well,
I
not
Hasbro WWFs from 5 and dimes that were still around in the early '90s, and
I know that some drugstores had the crazy bootleg rack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amigo Batman, but in a pink suit. All right.
And right now that's going for $70,000 on.
You know what? If I had kept that, and I liked it, I really liked it. I didn't care that the colors were wacky, because it's not like today where you had. I mean, this was like 1982 or 81. So it's not. So at the drugstore they only had knockoffs, and I loved that Batman, man. I cried, and my grandma asked me why I was crying. Because my mom at the time didn't have the finances, and my grandma said, "Go and pick it up for him." My grandmother was a very bad influence.
Enabler.
Exactly. Loved that, but I loved that Batman, and I took it home, and I was like, "Yeah, these colors are a little fugazi," and I knew fugazi back then. Amazing.
Wow!
Right,
wow. Okay. I can't imagine the little page was saying fugazi.
What were you, 5 or so?
Oh man, 5, 4. Yeah, it was about 5. And I'm just kidding. I didn't know fugazi, but I knew there was something off with the colors, but I didn't care. It was so much fun.
Yeah, talking about Mego, I remember I didn't really get into Mego until its closing days, and I do remember again at Child World they had wall to wall of it, just a wall of Megos, where you had to have somebody go over with a step ladder just to be able to get some of the characters from the top. That's how tall they was.
That is crazy, man. That is crazy.
I remember that. I remember that to this day, seeing that wall. And I never really bought many Megos at the time. All I got was Batman and the Thing.
Oh, the Thing is such a great one. Oh my God. I had the Mego, and I was way too young when I was given to it, but I had the Mego 12-inch Batman that had the magnetic hands and feet that you could attach to a refrigerator. They made that, and they also made a Robin. They may have made a Spider-Man version of that as well. But the Batman one that I had was great, but I broke his hand. But I love that Batman.
They did make a Spider-Man 12-inch Mego because I have it. I bought it second market years later, but didn't have anything metallic on him. No metallic hands. It was just a plain 12-inch Mego Spidey.
Magnetic. They actually had little magnets.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think the Spider-Man had magnets.
They may have made another one that you don't have.
Maybe.
Maybe they made another one, because that's a possibility, because they were producing those as many as they could up until 1980, 81.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. I went into my Toys R Us, one of my Toys R Us in the area recently, and they actually had the Black Series lined up like old school toy stores.
Oh wow, lucky you.
One peg with all the number 1, number 9, whatever characters they were. It was pretty cool. It reminded me of the old Joe pegs. One peg is Storm, a couple pegs of Storm Shadow, a couple pegs of Snake Eyes. Pretty cool. Just
nice.
It just threw me back. I was a little shocked. I guess whoever was working there actually took some time and said, "Oh, maybe we'll actually organize our shelves and do something that looks like we have toys on the shelf."
And not just that. Actually, let's actually take out some product that we have in the back.
Yeah, that'd be another one.
Well, actually, this is a good segue for the next, what I think is the next thing. Speaking of Mego, Alan, I know you still collect these Mego figures, but I don't know if you want to share the new Mego style DC figures from your favorite company.
Yeah, so Figures Toy Company, and you can check them out. I think it's figurestoycompany.com. But they also have them on Big Bad Toy Store, which I'll share in a minute. Basically, they make a lot of different Mego figures that are either reproductions of original Mego figures or they are more modern counterparts. And the latest wave that's out is basically a modern counterpart for 1970s Batman figures. And what we have here is a later series, Series 4. Many of the other series really are based like on the old TV show, but these ones here are based on 1970s characters. This is like the 70s Batman, the Ra's al Ghul, the Commissioner Gordon, the Scarecrow. These are how these characters looked in the 70s.
Alan, would you say that? Would you say at least the Batman and the Ra's al Ghul are those basically Neil Adam versions of the figures?
I believe so. I think these are Neil Adams versions.
Wow. I mean that. Not for nothing, the head sculpt on that Ra's al Ghul and the whole outfit looks amazing.
Yeah.
The Batman.
I love the Batman. That's my Batman from my graham cracker box. You know?
Yeah, with that. I'm sorry.
Look at those britches on that bastard.
Yeah, and also Alan, that's your Batman with the balloon head.
Oh, maybe not the balloon head so much, but
that's the thing. That's the thing that kills me. They did such a great job sculpting the Ra's al Ghul head. If they had done, or if they got the same guy or something similar with the Batman.
Yeah.
And also
underwear up to his nipples, man.
Underwear up to his nipples, and he looks like he's holding in his gut.
Stop rooting this for me.
Hey, listen, Figures Toy Company. I mean, they've done some cool stuff with wrestling in the past too.
They have. They make Ring of Honor figures.
Yeah.
They're doing a great. I gotta say, I mean, they are doing a great job, and they are filling a market and a need. That they're doing a great job with the DC line, which I think is basic. They don't have the Marvel, but they have the DC.
Exactly. Marvel's done by its own. I think Diamond actually has the rights to Marvel. They're making these Marvel Mego figures, which are beautiful, and they're doing a lot of characters now that were never made. So, for instance, they do have like a Deadpool set that's coming out.
I think it's already available, isn't it?
I think it is actually already available. And then Wolverine was made as well. So they're doing a mix. Daredevil's the next one. They're doing a mix of characters that they have the rights to. Their figures, they put in basically a classic Mego figure, and then they include other outfits that you can dress them in.
So they're a lot more expensive, but which is cool. You get two or three. You get 2 or 3 outfits. I mean, you get like a comic book, real Mego style, and a realistic style, something like that.
Exactly.
So they're cool, but it costs more because of how much you're getting and what you're getting.
Exactly. So I mean, I find them worth it. I know a lot of people don't, but I love Mego style, so that's me.
Yeah, I have. They're cool, but I can't do it. I don't know. I'm not feeling them. I was feeling them a lot more about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When Matty Collector was doing them, I felt them a lot more.
Yeah, well, Matty Collector was also mostly doing the DC ones, but even theirs were a little different. Theirs were not like reproductions the way Figures Toy Company looks.
Yeah, they're not reproductions, but the aesthetic was really close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, really close. And speaking of something that is what I would consider a modern day Mego, and these I love and these I'm into, is the 112 Collective by Mezco Flash. Now
they're taking a lot of my money.
Oh my God, they've already made an amazing Batman, the Dark Knight Batman, in different colors. I mean, yeah, we're suckers for getting in different colors. You know, you got the black and gray, the blue, the light blue with the yellow insignia, and you've got the dark blue. Okay, but they were gorgeous. Cloth clothing, a million points of articulation. I mean, they're basic.
What size are these?
6-inch.
6-inch, nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're 6-inch, and they're basically a hybrid between Mego and
that's what I was just
and Hot Toys.
I was just gonna say that's like the modern version of Mego.
Yeah, what's great about them is that they have cloth clothing, but it doesn't look clunky. The way they do the capes, the way they do the outfits are amazing. Okay, they get the right folds, it's the right thickness, but it doesn't, I don't know about playing it really rough, but it doesn't feel like it's going to shred easily.
Right.
Okay.
It doesn't look bulky.
Exactly. That's the word. All right. It is, and the new Flash, it looks really cool. It's not Batman cool, but I really dig it. And let me and I can show it to you right now.
I
Yeah,
mean, if they start moving towards these as like possibilities to compete with 12-inch, I mean that's at that price and at the same type of articulation and add-ons and extra hands and such, that'd be amazing, you know?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If you can see here, no, that's not it. Fine. There we go. I mean, this Flash, look at the articulation that you get. And what's insane is, like I was saying about the fabric, the fact that he can bend his elbow all the way in and the fabric moves like if it was natural, like if it was
yeah.
1-to-1 scale. There isn't an awkward bunching up that prevents him from getting that really tight 90, a little over 90 bend there. Okay. Now, what I do like is that they make a really good choice. The masks are not cloth. The masks are sculpted on, so
Wow.
it looks great.
Yep.
Okay, but I love the seams on this. I don't know if they're seams or just the lines in it. It's just gorgeous, and they come with, and what makes them hot toys is that they come with extra hands and accessories and even heads. I mean, look at this whirling feature on his hand. Flash feature. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You see the TV Flash doing that.
Yep.
All right, it's a classic thing. Here's a picture of him. I mean, that stand is amazing.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
All right. Then he comes with the electricity, so you can attach him. So it looks like he's running so fast
That's
he's
awesome,
just giving up
man.
charges. What's up?
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah. And he comes with 3 sets of hands. You need the fists. You need the ones for him to be, flying, the flat ones when he's running so fast, and then open grip. I mean, this thing. And not for nothing, it's less than half of a Hot Toys. The Hot
And
Toys.
that's the thing. Yeah, this to me is like, this is the, I don't want to call it the poor man's hot toy option, but it's definitely the smaller hot toy option.
Yeah.
And they're a dangerous company now. They have the license to both Marvel and DC. They're also doing the Daredevil and Captain America. They have Spider-Man and Deadpool on the way. They have Punisher on the way, both a Mike Zeck version and a modern version. They are all over the place with what they have coming out, and it's scary.
And I love what they've done. Instead of painting instead of just painting on the belt on Flash, all right, or just using a different fabric over it, they use plastic, and it sticks out, it pops, it looks great. All right, and I love what they did. He's got sneakers. They're his boots, but because he has really good ankle articulation, they kind of look like sneakers. They look like yellow cross trainers. It looks awesome.
They really do.
Yep.
They really do.
hey, do you guys want to hear something?
No.
You want? Oh, okay.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
You're gonna be surprised when we get off of here and I tell you how much I can get them for.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Oh boy. All right.
I'm afraid to get involved.
Damn you, Bill!
Damn!
But so that, to me, that's the Mego I get into, and it's way more than. It's even at that price, at the Big Bad Toy Store price, it's even more than the Diamond Marvel Migos. But the quality you get on it, and all the articulation, any pose you want, it's a work of art. Like I said, these things, it's a work of art.
And to Pedro's point, I mean, he and I both have some of the Dark Knight figures, and so we've seen them firsthand, and they are just insane.
They are they're just a pleasure. They're absolutely beautiful and an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, last week, 2 weeks ago on the last podcast, you had mentioned, what would you show, Frankenstein?
Oh, yes. I showed Frankenstein because they also have the Universal Monster license now.
Yeah, you're going to be happy when I tell you. So.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Happy, but it's happy and sad, but it's going to switch. You're happy because of one thing, but you're sad because of the other. But then when you get happy about it, you're sad about it the other.
And I'm scared about Frankenstein because my thinking is, I'm a big Universal Monster fan. That's one of the things I loved about being in Southern California, was that you were surrounded by Universal Monster paraphernalia. I know I'm going to want all the Universal monsters from that line, and I'm like, screwed. I'm going to want Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Mummy, Phantom of the Opera. I'm going to want all of them. I'm in trouble.
You're good. You're good. You're getting for 2/3 of the price.
Alan, how old are you?
It's not. You know what it is? It's not the movies.
About 58.
I am.
I was gonna say it's my father's I mean, not my father, my uncle's generation that was really, really like into collecting the whole Frankenstein, Universal monsters, and even Elvira.
But here's the thing: it was not the movies or anything like that that got me into it. What got me into Universal monsters were the old Remco glow-in-the-dark figures.
Like I said, how old are you?
I guess that is old. I'm going to be 42 in a couple weeks, so yeah, there you go.
I'm not that far. I'm not that far behind, so don't worry about it. So it's just that's incredible. That is your love. You know what? Somebody's got to keep these things around because those classic movies and those classic characters need to exist and need to go on.
And I'll never forget. A couple of years ago, I went to the Egyptian Theater in Los Angeles, which is a very famous movie theater for showing a lot of old movies and such. And I got to see a movie monster marathon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got to see like Frankenstein and Dracula and Phantom of the Opera. I can't remember which. They had 3 one night, 3 the other, and I loved it. They had this special monster combo of popcorn and Nestle Crunch and Coke. Everything to get you like wired up and never have to go to sleep that night. It was beautiful.
Well, I mean, for one, I saw most of Phantom of the Opera. You're talking about the silent movie, right?
The silent movie.
You know what? The fact that it's silent and the way they did it, it's still pretty freaky. It still holds up.
It does. It really does.
The whole, I mean, it is a brilliant movie. The other one, Nosferatu, is another one that is really, really good. An old film, and one that I would recommend to people if you don't want to watch the original, watch the I forgot they did a Nosferatu movie. I forgot what it was called, but it was basically the movie is about the people the Germans who filmed the movie and what happened during filming the movie. William Dafoe plays Nosferatu, and he's brilliant. Right. And the director is the great actor with the Eastern European last name, Mikhailovich. Oh my God, what's his name?
It helps at zero. It helps.
Malkovich?
John Malkovich? John Malkovich. As the director. Brilliant movie. Brilliant movie.
I would have never guessed that in a bajillion years.
Okay, and it's how not? What other ones do you know?
I don't know. You could be talking about some random guy I never heard of. I don't know all these actors.
No, but he's John Malkovich. You've seen John Malkovich. Come on.
John Malkovich, yeah, of course.
Oh, that's a great movie. That's a great movie.
Red, I mean, a whole bunch of random shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, also Transformers. He was in part 2, or was it part 3?
I think he was in.
I don't even remember. That's sad.
It might have been part 2. Well, it was just he played such a ridiculous character. The only big-time actor who had any kind of impact, and actually was because of his chops, was just he actually his role was he's the only one that played the role, and somewhat believably was Kelsey Grammer in the last one.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, this guy's good. And not that John Malkovich isn't a good actor, but the role they gave him was just ridiculous. The Kelsey Grammer one was believable, and he did a great job with it. But anyway, back to the front.
Back to the present.
Are we back or?
Well, I think right now, Alan, you wanna screen share a modern 12-inch figure, not an old school, but that the new Marvel 12-inch Legends are up for pre-order at ToysRUs.com. Assuming they haven't sold out.
Well, that's the thing too, is that some of them are Toys R Us. Let me get to the screen share. Some of them are Toys R Us. Some of them are Walmart. They're kind of all over the place as far as the pre-orders go.
Okay.
And so the one that I have here that I can see here is there's Captain America. Captain America, I believe, is for Toys R Us. There's Spider-Man, which is for TRU.
Oh, I thought all three would be together in all stores. You're telling me that in different stores?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure because right now they're saying that Spider-Man has the Target pre-order. I'm sorry, Spider-Man has the Walmart pre-order. Iron Man has a Target pre-order. Captain America, I believe, is TRU. At least this is what they're announcing here. I don't know if they're all eventually going to be in all the same stores or if they're going to be store exclusive. That's still to be decided, but right now they're just going by what the pre-orders are. So it's hard to say.
Oh, and what Captain America is that? Is that the Marvel Now Captain America?
That is.
What is? There's no
That's the
image.
Marvel Now, this one right here.
What is? You know, don't. You got something on there that was interesting to me down the bottom.
Was it
Where?
not sharing?
No, you got it. What did you? You stop sharing?
No,
You
I don't
stopped
think I
sharing.
did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I did?
Yeah, you did. You stopped it.
Am I sharing now?
There you go.
are? Yes, you are, sir.
Do me a favor. Scroll to the very bottom of that page. It didn't show up when I opened it.
This one here?
Yeah. Keep going. It's a random generated. There you go. What is that?
Random generated article.
Yeah, click that one on the right there, to San Diego. Hold that for a little bit because I'd like to see that. Okay, and that's it. Apologize for that.
Oh, sorry. I thought you actually wanted to see it.
Well, I do, but we could talk about it after you finish the 12-inch.
Oh, okay. But yes.
Actually, we can move on. I mean, unless there's that much more.
Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty much it.
That's
So,
pretty much it.
real quick, I noticed, this just kind of popped up on the image there, and let's see what it says, because I don't think that's going to be the exclusive, but I really want that Skeletor.
Oh, this is not exclusive. Yeah, this is part of the Masters of the Universe Classics Filmation line. This is not exclusive. This is something. This SDCC 2015 was for something different. And this is
that's last year.
Well,
That's last year.
That's what I'm saying. This is from this is coming this year.
Yeah.
This is part of this year's Filmation line. Exactly.
Right.
This is part of the exclusive sub that I'm never gonna get now. I should have pre-ordered this. Should have ordered this, man.
Oh my goodness.
I
Hey,
should have.
while we're talking about it, might as well bring up Trapjaw.
You got him.
Oh yeah, let's see a review from
Yeah,
Mr. Bill.
Screen share that. Screen share that.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. I put him on the screen like an idiot. I don't screen share.
Look at let me see the eyes. Let me see the eyes because I heard a lot of things about the eyes.
Nah, he's not too derpy.
Let me see. Get closer. Don't be shy. I don't bite.
Can you see him?
You're right. That's not too bad. Some were really awful, but you got lucky.
Yeah, I mean, and not for nothing, but Trapjaw from the cartoon, he deserves derpy fucking eyes.
Yeah, but you don't. But to display him like that, come on.
That's his thing. But yeah, I haven't taken him out yet. I figured I'd just show him on the podcast. But he's awesome. I'm glad I got him. I didn't way back I wanted to get in on the Matty Collector, but I didn't. And I just recently got Beastman. No, I'm sorry, Mossman from our buddy Eddie.
Yep.
I was like, you know what, man? I regret not getting the He-Man because I didn't want him. I'm like, he's all right. And then the more I seen pictures of him, and then
which He-Man?
The Filmation. And the more I seen the Filmation He-Man, the more I'm going, man, this is a cool figure. And then all of a sudden,
not the only one.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden everybody's pissed off because he's so hard to get now, and I'm going, oh, that's even worse now because now I can't get him. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to get Trapjaw. And I got another special thing, but it's upstairs and still sealed in a box. But he came out right around the same time.
You got the anti-He-Man? How did you get them? For a third party? Somebody ordered them for you? Or did you pay eBay?
I'm a professional, pal. I got people listening to this podcast that send me goods.
Okay, now tell me. I'm curious because they sold out too quickly.
I know. That's why I'm surprised I got it.
I got lucky enough to slip in before they sold out. I was up going to ask you, Pedro. I never had a chance to ask if you had a chance to get him or not.
No, the anti-He-Man?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, he went really, really quick. I was very lucky to get the one, but I didn't order 3. I just ordered the one. That's all I was able to afford.
I would have ordered 2. One to keep in box because that box is gorgeous.
I know. I want to open mine, but I don't. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I usually
man.
get things mint in box or mint on card if I get them like that, but I'm so tempted. I do plan to rip open the Moss, man. I now
Oh,
own
but
Moss.
very cool. Very cool, bro. Very
the
cool.
Yeah,
ones that smell you definitely want to open up because that's part of the fun.
yeah.
Oh,
But
I haven't.
I
I'm
mean
not
to
opening
jump
mine.
out there, but I seen that picture and I just wanted to see what that. I guess that was from last year's San Diego Comic
Yeah,
Con.
Yep.
I thought it might be this year's.
that's
Now
what I
this
thought.
year,
I thought for a moment too. They haven't shown. They haven't given us. It's too early. In about a month, they will. In May, they do.
yeah, they haven't announced anything just
So
yet. I
it's
mean,
right around the corner.
it's right around the corner. It's pretty freaking sick that how quickly San Diego's coming up, how quickly JoeCon is coming up.
Hey,
Um,
when's New York Comic Con tickets going on sale? It's in May, right?
um, I'm not exactly sure. I'm getting an exhibitor badge, and I don't know what time they're actually going on sale though.
It's usually right. That's what
It's
if I
usually
remember.
around May. I would say that May sounds about right about when they're going to go on sale. But yeah, since we're talking New York Comic Con, I'm happy to say that I'll actually be there. I'll be exhibiting with Inside Editions on Thursday and Friday, and then I'll be hanging there on Saturday, hopefully with all you guys.
Can't wait to
Nice.
see you, brother. Can't wait to
Oh,
see you.
nice, bro. And Alan, you had something to share, didn't you?
Oh, I do. I have my own little thing to review. So
These guys are biters, man. Because I've been doing it. Now they're all think that they can come with their own figures.
Hey,
They goes, oh, let me show off. You guys are biters.
I got more. I didn't know we were sticking here. I thought we were gonna go right to the other. All right, we'll go back to the Game of Thrones. But go ahead.
oh yeah, well, since we're already talking, I don't know if you want to put me on presentation mode.
Sir.
Can you guys see this okay?
Boom.
Not anymore.
Hold on. My thing is
wow.
lagging, so yeah, so this is Solomon Witt's Raptor from Far Side Collectibles.
Awesome.
Really nice piece. Thank you, Solomon, if you're listening. This is great. For those who know, Raptor is one of my favorite characters. A lot of people think I'm crazy for that, but I love him. And the wings, and I apologize, I'm not as good at this as Pedro is. The wings are essentially a separate piece. They clip off and on, and I'll see if I can try to get them off.
Well, that's better than just clipping on and not clipping off.
Yeah. So
just,
again, for some reason,
off.
my computer is lagging. I guess it's scanning me trying to show things in front of it.
Oh,
but
is
this
it
is a separate piece.
Is that a universal modern peg?
It is a modern peg. The
Nice.
wings articulate a little bit. They do shift back and forth.
They shit back and forth?
Shift.
Oh, I was like, whoa, that's really realistic.
Now I like what he did with the pack. He has it with the feathering on the back as well.
Exactly.
On the actual
said,
peg section.
yes. Like I said, I am not as good at this whatsoever as Pedro is, but for some reason my laptop does not like it when I'm trying to show things in front of it because it's freezing me.
But do this. Hold it by the leg or behind the knee so we can see the buttocks.
Yeah, that's your internet there, buddy.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But move closer to the center.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Move close there, and then turn it around. Turn around.
Want to see that ass?
Oh, nice. I like to want to see the back.
You got a flat ass, man.
Well, come on, dude. He's an accountant. This guy's probably Jewish, and he's really into birds. Come on.
So speaking of accountant, it was just tax day. Tax day is Bring Your Raptor to Work Day, which I had forgotten to do.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's again, thanks to
because
Solomon Witt for this. This was a really, this is a piece I've been waiting a while for. Again, Raptor is one of my favorite characters of all time, and yeah, I'm really happy with him.
Yeah, it's an awesome piece too.
Somebody mentioned about a game.
Which game?
A game. Well, there's a couple of games, but one that involves a chair.
Game of Thrones.
So Game of Thrones, they had the what are these here? The what company is that? Oh man, we always make fun of them.
Funko Pop.
Funko, yeah. No, not the Pops. The
Reaction.
Funko, the reaction.
The reaction,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the same company.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my brain left me. So you got them up, Alan, or what?
Hold on, let me see if I can get those. I apologize. My thing is really lagging now. I don't know what's up, but
You need to
my whole top is frozen now. So I don't think I can get to the screen. Do you have the other tab open?
Yeah, hold on.
Awesome, thank you. Apologies, everybody. Problems with live presentation, but I've lost the whole top of my bar now.
All right, you guys see them?
Let me.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
I do.
Okay, so I guess we'll start here since these are nice, clear pictures. Now that ghost is fucking awesome.
That is a beautiful sculpt.
I really want that. I mean, that would be great for Snake Eyes, even, man.
First of all, the cards of these are way better than the ones they've been doing. This is almost like an official toy line, not
Right.
trying to be Funko. What do they call reaction figures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trying to be. Oh, it's really trying to be its own thing. That Jon Snow, nice
It's
sculpt.
awesome.
And you know what? I should say that I apologize because this was my error calling them reaction figures. This is not from the reaction line. In fact, reaction, if I recall correctly, is on the packaging. These are 3 3/4 figures, but they're not truly reaction style because they're multi-articulated much more than the reaction ones are.
I thought they were. All right. And there you go. You got Rattle Shirt. I don't remember that name. How come it don't sound right?
I never knew the names of the characters.
Nah, but I don't remember that character. I know the character. I don't remember. I thought it was something Bone. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, skull face, skull bones.
Yeah, it's Bone. I thought it was Bone something or other. Anyway, I'm back to. I started watching the season 1 again, and I'm back to listening to book 1 over. So I'm trying to start over just to get refresher. Oh, and shout out to this guy on YouTube. A guy I just met recently put me onto him. It's Alt Shift X. He has a ton of theories on Game of Thrones and awesome stuff. So check him out. I mean, he does some cool stuff, and
I love the cannibal.
Who is it?
The cannibals. One of the I forgot what group they are, but from one of the free folk that eat people.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I forgot what the group is called. The Night King is cool.
The free people. You're the free folk.
Not all the free folk.
There was a.
It's an offshoot.
Is it the Thins? No.
The Thins sound about right because I see the word thin there.
Is that him? This guy Styr?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Magnar the Thin. Then we got Tyrion in the Wall.
Which is that's a great Tyrion.
And that's basically the centerpiece of the line. That's really, really cool that they're doing this little playset, so to speak, where you can put like around, I think they said 20 figures or so on there, which is kind of crowded, but very cool that they have that as an actual piece, and it makes you wonder if they're going to have other playsets coming out too.
I wonder if you can interchange and connect wall pieces.
I'm wondering if on the other side it's the inside of Castle Black where they train.
Probably not. It looks like it's a more simplistic piece than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be awesome. I can see somebody customizing that.
Tormund Giantsbane, who was he's one of the right hand men of
yeah, he's awesome.
The King of the King Beyond the Wall. We got the White Walker. Ygritte.
Ygritte looks amazing.
Yeah,
she looks great.
I mean, they hit a home run with that face sculpt.
I got to be honest. They hit a home run with this whole line. I mean, look at that White Walker, man.
They did a good job.
I wasn't crazy. I wasn't crazy about the 6-inch line. It was good, but I wasn't feeling it. The more I look at these, the more dangerous they're getting.
Yeah. I did like this. I did want to grab those 6-inch. I just never did. And these look better. These look better actually than the pictures we saw from Toy Fair.
Yes.
Yep. For some reason, I guess because they're up close shots and you get to really see the details.
And Bill, if you don't mind, since we're talking Game of Thrones, there is something else also coming out from that company. I'm still frozen here, but if you can get to it, there's the mystery minis that are coming out.
Yep, here we go.
So mystery minis, for those who aren't sure, this is again something that Funko Pop has the license to many, many, many different franchises for. I particularly got, and I thank Bill for this, the WWE ones. They're really cute. They're great. They're very unique. And they're now coming out with Game of Thrones ones as well. So these are all blind boxed. I'm guessing that each box has a set of all of them. I am hoping there aren't exclusive versions where you can only get certain characters from Walmart or whatnot, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
But these are, again, something else with the Game of Thrones property that Funko Pop is really doing some good stuff with.
They look amazing.
I'm a little disappointed, man. No Jon Snow in the first run.
No, to keep you coming back.
Yeah. Exactly. There's going to be more waves of these for sure. WWE already has another wave coming out. I think DC and Marvel have been doing multiple waves as well. There will be more waves.
There's Samwell with the dragon glass dagger.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like these, man. I like.
And that's Ramsey right there, right, Bill? Bottom right.
Bottom right. Yeah, it looks like it could be.
Yeah, with those eyes.
Yep. Is that Tywin in the middle there?
No.
No, who is that?
That's
is that Jorah?
Yes, Jorah.
There you go. Cool. Yeah, no, I like the Funko stuff. I like the Funko Pop stuff.
And as probably everybody knows, unless they're living under a rock, tomorrow night is the premiere of the next season of Game of Thrones.
Woo-hoo!
I'm pretty excited. I'm probably going to not be watching it live. I'll probably have to watch it later on, depending on when I'm getting back. I'm actually going to my very first San Francisco Giants game tomorrow.
Nice. You can watch it on your phone if you have HBO now.
I was going to say I have HBO Direct, so I can always watch it anytime I want, actually. So I'm just going to have to stay away from spoilers, and as soon as I get home, I'll make sure to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really getting into the latest Fear the Walking Dead too, man.
I'm getting into that too.
Between Game of Thrones and that, I'm gonna be a happy man.
Well, Silicon Valley, isn't that starting up tomorrow as well?
Is it tomorrow?
I think so. I think it might be starting out tomorrow too.
Greatest
if
thing.
not, really soon.
Dude, if Game of Thrones and Silicon Valley with Fear the Walking Dead are all on Sunday, that's the best Sunday I could hope for.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal.
Wow, love it.
It's gonna be awesome. Awesome.
So what else do we got here? We got Terminator 2, T-800, the video game figure.
Yeah, so this is another NECA figure. This is another one of those NECA video game figures where they basically take old Nintendo games and they have them in their how they look basically from the game, either various colors or pixelated. And this is the latest one that they announced for Terminator. It's beautiful. You know, I say it's beautiful. It really depends on your taste. If you're somebody who grew up with the old NES games and likes the pixelated look and understands what the joke is, so to speak, as far as why they look the way they do, then it's a beautiful thing to have. And they are doing a really amazing job with this line. I'm still waiting for the Castlevania one that they showed a toy for to go up for pre-order. I haven't seen that yet, but I am salivating over that.
I do like what they do with these, the shading and stuff. I think it's creative, man. You know. And
yes, it is. It's a creative way of reusing a mold of something they already released, but giving you something new with pop.
Yep.
And something you remember too. You know, like as a kid. And the packaging is awesome. It's got the energy bar. I mean,
I love the packaging. I love the way they basically take the old NES games and that's their packaging. That's just beautiful. That sings to me like I can't begin to say. It's just perfect.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I do. I love all those. The early ones were really good. What was it? Jason. That Jason was awesome.
They did Jason. They did Freddy Krueger. They did, of course, the Batman one, which is beautiful. They did Rocky, which is another one that I loved, which is easy for them as well since they already have the Rocky license. They just recolored it, and there you go.
Yeah. I I wanted to show off something that I got today as well.
Nice.
Um, you guys know I love iron grenadiers. I know I call them grenadiers. Most people call them grenadiers. We're not English, so I'm American.
I think when I was a kid, I called it grenadier. So
I think, yeah, Alan. I mean, not Alan. Bill. I think most Americans call them grenadiers.
Yeah, well, that's a European.
What makes it European?
I don't know.
We
I believe that they were grenadiers. Were part of the.
No, not even in the Deke series.
Anyway, I call them iron grenadiers. So F you, and I love the iron grenadiers. Not you personally. I mean, like the world. Not F you. I love you. But anyway, here we go.
Oh yeah, I just ordered one of these.
Now, I'm going to present this to all you guys. Now, this right here.
Wow, that's awesome.
Is the iron grenadier bat.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to see the arms are gold. Here's the legs, viper legs. But but pretty good detail in terms of paint apps. This is the red laser line. It's no longer Black Major. This is his first release. He was supposed to release a Stinger driver color version bat. However, there was an issue with the factory, and they screwed up the figures or something to that effect. Also, I was warned: do not pull the hand off. Whoever has this out there, twist off the hand, because you could break off the peg. All right?
Oh God! I'm glad you warned me before I get it.
I would warm it up if you can with hot water or with a blow dryer.
You don't need to, honestly. If you twist slowly, it'll come right off. Now, some of the later Black Major stuff, I don't even know. I didn't get much Black Major stuff, but I did get some later bats, the purple Decepticon bat and a glow-in-the-dark yellow, I believe, bat. And they were very... The heads were very loose. The swivel was really loose. Now, I got to be honest, this figure is pretty sturdy overall. I mean, the one swivel is a little loose, but nothing horrible. Actually, the other swivel I had to break the swivel, break the fused swivel because I guess when they put it together, it doesn't fit right. So I thought I broke the arm off, but it now is moving, but not loosely, which is awesome.
That's good to hear.
So these are well done, and it's weird because they're from the same factory and the same molds and such. So it's a little odd that those purple.
Even in the same factory, there could be a lot of things, that the quality of the plastic, how quickly, did they fix any mistakes that they had before? Did they say, like, you know what, now we're going to produce these new ones and we're going to do them right? Look at that backpack in those colors.
And that's the backpack with the gold.
With the gold accessories. That is gorgeous.
Accessories. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that, and I knew you guys would enjoy it.
Yeah, I ordered one just recently, and I'm waiting. And I'm glad you mentioned about the quality, because I will have to say I felt the same way when I used to get Black Major stuff. I kind of got turned off by the quality control of it. I love aesthetically how this one looks, and that's why I decided to go for it. But that is good to hear that for the most part it's sturdier.
Yeah.
Are these still available, or are they all sold out?
You can hit them up. I'll send you the guy's name, Eddie something or other. But I believe he's just got the first wave. I believe there's more coming.
Okay, yeah, it'd be stupid to limit that. They might be there might be somebody somebody might try to sell them actually for him at a JoeCon.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's always the case.
On the sly.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I have. I mean, I do have these two figures that I'd like to make a quick comment about, which I decided I was just itching to buy something, so I went to Toys R Us and they had the new 3 3/4 Legends figures and the Noir Spider-Man here. Which, can you guys see it?
Yeah, I love that figure.
Now, the figure's awesome. I know you guys said there's not much going on with the character itself in the comics. It's nothing to really talk about. The figure's great. The only complaint I really have is the long neck he's got there. It's a little too long.
Yeah.
And he has awesome foot articulation. I don't know. It's hard to see, but it goes side to side. It goes up, down. I mean, it goes way back too. Let me see. Can you see that?
Yep.
It kicks itself even further back.
Oh, it swivels. It's the
Yeah.
it's a ball. It's a angled ball pin. I don't know. It's an angled peg, so it could do a complete. It gives it an ankle tilt at the same time, so it could go forward and back, side to side. But when it goes side to side, he can now have a exaggerated A stance with both feet on the ground.
Right, and then he also has the shin swivel. So he's well articulated. The wrists bend in and out. So you go. I'm worse than Alan at this, but you go in and out with the wrist. And it also spins. So he's got great articulation. It's a great figure. However, this one I'm super disappointed in. I really wanted a Black Panther. He's too skinny. He's super short, and he's literally has the least articulate. You would think this figure should have the articulation that the Noir Spider-Man has as well, but he only has a left and right swivel, and you can't even really bend up and down. There's a joint there, but there's no movement, and he just lacks the leg movement. He has more of a G.I. Joe. It's hard to see in there, but it's the T hook.
Yeah, Pedro, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this Black Panther figure is more from the older style of the Marvel Universe 3/4 generation, right? As far as when the articulation is more limited.
No, the articulation was never limited. They're limiting them now. If it's a new sculpt from the last 2 years,
okay.
then it's limited. Now the sculpts on the original. I will say this: that the sculpts on the first couple of years, while they had a lot of articulation, okay, it's not. While they had a lot of articulation, it wasn't the best. It wasn't perfected until they got the body that you have there for the Noir Spider-Man. They basically reused another body, and that's a new head sculpt. Okay. That body was when they really got the articulation down tight. But with cost-cutting measures, we get the new stuff where there's no torso articulation. They took away anything. Sometimes you get double jointed knees, but you only get one joint in the elbow. No wrist articulation. They really cut back. Some of the sculpts are cool, but they're very, very limited.
I mean, look at the difference in size here. This is side by side.
Now, it also depends on what that Spider-Man Noir originally was. They probably just picked it because the body was what worked. That could be I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Ghost Rider looking jacket, but still, I would think that you would have a larger, less anorexic Black Panther. I mean,
yeah.
No, I mean, really, if you look at them side by side, the bulk. I mean, it's hard to get on camera.
Okay, but I will say this: I'm gonna be devil's advocate here. A Black Panther is wearing a leotard.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Noir is wearing a jacket and baggy pants.
I'll give you that.
So that's, but Hasbro is trying to save money on plastic.
They are. That's the problem. These days, and this is what concerns me. I just have to say, not to really get off topic, but we are on topic with Hasbro's quality control. I'm really concerned about all the new toys they want to come out with because it really does feel like everything they're doing these days, the quality control is not there, the articulation is not there. They're really just trying to cheap dime store the hell out of their brands right now, and that's scary for what's coming up.
Yeah, it is.
that concerns me for Visionaries and for Mask and for ROM and for all these other things that they want to actually move forward with and get people excited about. If this is what we have to look forward to, this kind of stuff, then even their Marvel Legends.
But Alan, like, where have you been? Where have you been since 2008?
You're right, but it's gotten, I think over the last 2 years in particular, it has gotten even more so with this new Marvel Universe body, with the new 5 POA Star Wars figures. It's gotten even more so.
The POA started 4 years ago, the 5 POA.
But how often was it really appearing? Not as often. Now,
no. For Star Wars, yeah. I know everything is. We get to an age where everything seems like it was just yesterday. We forget how long. This has been par for the course. It was 4 years ago that Hasbro fired. Was it 4 years ago? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago that or even more, that Hasbro fired. Tons of employees, and we're talking not just clerks. And human resources, but their actual talent.
Oh, well, we know where their designers went, so exactly, you're right.
Yeah. So this is, unfortunately, that's just par for the course. They've been doing this with Transformers since 2011, I want to say. 2011, 2012. That's basically when the plastic and the toys and the engineering just started getting smaller and smaller and hollower and hollower.
Yeah.
Look at the Retaliation toys. We got some good ones, but the vehicle drivers, it's like going forward there isn't much hope. That's
well, Transformers-wise, though, that is the exception, I feel. You're right about the quality of the plastic, sure, but the Transformers engineering does look much better recently.
No, it isn't. It's better,
Really?
but it's light years behind what they were doing up to 2008. The product that was being released in 2010, which was probably last done in 2008, that product had incredible, that generation's jazz. All right, the engineering they had was just incredible. Now, I mean, I like the stuff that they're doing. It's cool, but it's simplified. It's simplified and very, very hollow.
Well, this is I think this is the future of toy collecting, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And this is what's driving people to third party. It's what's driving people to more expensive collecting.
Customs, Kickstarters.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Customs and Kickstarters are the future as well. I think it's. But this is what makes me wonder. What are they going to do when we get much older? Yes, we're going to still be collecting, but eventually we are going to die off. And I've said this so many times over the years. I think we are the last generation of action figure collecting.
I agree. Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. The kids that grew up in the 90s. They're the last ones.
Maybe that's true.
No, it is true. They're getting a movie.
Turtles, Power Rangers, and Transformers.
Power Rangers. Like Power Rangers. We should have bought Power Rangers back in the early 90s and stockpiled them. They are going. They are selling. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I had a Green Ranger. I don't know what I did with it.
No. What's wrong with you?
So, I guess we could wrap this up. You guys got anything else you want to talk about, or?
No. It's been a fun ride. It's been a good ride.
Yeah. So just to let everybody know, we are on every couple weeks. We try to keep it on a bi-weekly basis. Usually it's either Saturday or Sunday, depending on schedules and such. We'll talk about what the next show is going to be, but definitely 2 weeks from now. And when we come back, we'll be able to start talking Game of Thrones. Again, it's going to be back on TV, so that's going to be exciting. That could be a little part of our podcast that we'll be able to speak to. So there will be spoilers, obviously.
Absolutely.
And looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. Be sure to check out our website, theplasticempire.com, theplasticempire.com. Facebook, we are The Plastic Empire. We do have our own page. Please like us, share. Shares are better than likes, right?
That's a shirt. Or it should be.
Skype, hit us up, TPE at theplasticempire.com. Interact with us while we're on the show through Skype. Instagram, The Plastic Empire. Twitter, _Plastic Empire _. And, of course, email, TPE at theplasticempire.com. Hit us up there if you want to chat or whatever, and catch us on any of the social media. Send us a shout out, send us some pictures or whatever, and hopefully we'll be able to get it on the podcast or give you a shout out on the podcast. And as always, thanks for the support, and
Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks for the support. Thanks for listening. Spread the word. Tell your friends.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
That's right.
Shares are better than likes, and check us on YouTube as well, The Plastic Empire. We have some our podcasts, and we'll be putting up other random videos as we do them. So, but
Yeah,
that's it.
and if you have any toys you'd like to us to review or look at or talk about, let us know.
Yeah,
Any
for sure.
or any topic in particular.
Or
Yes, definitely. We take requests.
or
We
feel
take
free to
requests,
send-
but well, we want to take requests, but make sure it's not lame. If it's lame, it's not getting on.
And any of you toy dealers or manufacturers out there want to send us some free shit, let us know, and we will talk about it on the podcast.
Absolutely.
I just had to do the pandering there, 10 episodes in, I think it's time. Oh, shit. All right. Well, it was great. Great time, fellas. Thank you, everybody, again, for watching. And,
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you both.
all right. Peace.
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 Peace.